adaptation. It may involve adult themes and strong language. This is the Curse of Penance RPG.
Welcome to episode 23, the hopeful actual end of the Curse of Penance RPG.
23 is a weird number to end on, right?
It is a weird number. Some would say unlucky.
23? Yeah, 23 is unlucky.
Did alright for Jim Carrey.
Anyway, it's very true.
Just gonna say there is no Belry this week because it's his dad's birthday. There's no Lexa because she's not feeling well, and there's no Matt at the moment, but he may leap from a bush later on.
To set us all on fire.
Yes, in true Tubbs fashion.
I think my brain went somewhere weird on that one.
Tubbs? Bush?
That's true, it doesn't track with his character.
Though we all know that Karen has a bit of an issue with bushes. She sometimes lands in them, sometimes doesn't.
I thought you were going to talk about Karen's bush there. I'd rather not have
Yeah,
that
Nope.
conversation.
Nope, I wasn't gonna even go there.
Editing.
No, man, leave it in, it's the last one.
Oh god. So, this episode we will start with episode 9 and try feebly to get through the remaining 10 episodes or so of the podcast. So, episode 9, this was Argonsville Halt. What were your thoughts on that?
I remember I still wasn't entirely sure really at the time. I'm going back and re-listening to it. I think I got confused on the day by the statue head that we found in the
The sort of singing bust.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we were that was something we were not meant to spend so much time on.
It's just a random item that was from the book. I don't think it does anything else. It's just a...
So yeah, we weren't meant to spend so much time on it.
It just seems to be a sort of trinket that was mentioned in the book as this sort of thing to horrify your players, whereas you were all like, no, this is important, we must take it with us.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that could be applied to a lot of what we did, was us being like, no, this must be important.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of like, we need to take all the stuff with us and we'll find a use for it there.
Yeah.
It was that kind of attitude.
In the book for Argonsville, it includes things like, in the kitchen, there's a large iron pot, and it is moving and rattling around.
I could have done with that pot.
See, did I not pick up a ladle in this episode? So I did. I picked.
Your ladle was picking up when we went back to Kresk.
Ah, okay. I knew I picked up a ladle from somewhere and gave it to Ozmand.
This one was the one that started with the Vistani shaman, basically women being pinned by daggers, and you had to walk around, and then you found Fergus.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Fergus then?
We believed everything he said.
Yeah, and we totally just bought everything with no questions. It was kind of interesting. I don't know, just speaking from a visual standpoint, I don't know, I might have completely gone off the reservation on this one. But I was just imagining it was kind of a tumbled down, not tumbled down, but just a kind of a dirty manor house. And we just happened to open a bedroom door and he's just there chilling with a dragon. Skeleton.
Yeah.
That was what I was picturing.
A headless skeleton of a dragon.
I had envisioned it much more like a sort of giant cathedral-type building.
Okay.
And you'd gone up, and there was these rooms around the top, and you'd fallen through the top one into this church building behind the main sort of foyer.
Well, that makes more sense because your description was, you said about the roof falling in on the main hall.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, it was just kind of, I don't know, I think it was the fact there was upstairs rooms, that's what threw me, because I was like picturing like a kind of, and we just happened to open a doorway, and like I was imagining like a kind of super awkward, like, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't know this one was didn't know this was taken.
Yeah.
But then he was kind of cool about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's kind of, in hindsight, he kind of seemed to have expected us at the same time. He was kind of like, because I can imagine if someone walked into your house even, and you were like, I don't know you, who are you? Some random stranger, you kind of be like, why are you in my house?
Yeah.
I think he was just glad you weren't Vistani, because he was being attacked by Vistani a lot. So, but I think it's because the Vistani were trying to reclaim the building effectively.
Fergus has got problems with the Vistani.
Yeah. And then there was the wine, which he was growing the grapes for, and had this. I can't remember if you had the grapes available or it was just the wine he had available, but none of you asked about the wine.
I think
We didn't.
It's the wine.
Yeah.
But did Tubbs not taste the wine upstairs? And it was like vile, and then we tasted his wine and it was nice.
I can't remember
Yeah.
if you tasted wine before.
I think that did happen, and you still didn't click.
Yep.
Basically, he walks out of the room, comes back with a bottle of wine, if you just guzzle, and he goes, fair enough.
I think at that point we were just, happy to see booze. It wasn't like,
Well,
we're just seeing like a crazy like singing like bust in the basement.
Which was really weird.
We all needed a drink.
Yeah.
We didn't put two and two together that, hey, this guy's got some decent wine. Maybe there's something.
While you were recording this one, this is one of the episodes that I had to like step away from the computer.
Physically stop yourself from
dear.
shouting at us.
Pretty much, I was like, what? He's obviously lying to you.
We're
Can
just
you
really
not,
trusting.
Can you not hear that this is the DM's, this is a sinister character voice?
I have no voice. I can't even remember Fergus's voice, it's been that long.
Yeah.
It was pretty much your standard, this sounds, should I believe this person? And they all did.
Yeah, I think, I definitely, my read on, I can't remember the exact voice you used, but like, I don't remember it on the day even having the slightest thought of like, this guy is kind of sinister. Maybe we should not trust him. Like, Ozmand just like, and me, I guess, in extension, just fully like, okay, this guy's a little different than what we've seen, but he seems cool,
Yeah, out of character, I kind of was just like, is he okay? He seems a bit like mellow, and I was just like, yeah, should we listen? But then in Meg's character, it was like she'd kind of listen, and she would go with the group, so I had to kind of go with the group there. But I had a little inclination, but I didn't go on it. I didn't act on it.
Mm-hmm.
What we're saying is, we're a bunch of idiots.
Yep.
We're gullible. That's what we are.
We certainly fell for Tubbs's shtick.
Oh god. So yes, after this point Meg left, because Eddie had to go earlier that day. And it left the rest of you
To smother people.
to go down past the torture rooms. And do you want to just talk about the torture rooms?
Yeah, I feel like this is another case of it got kind of away from us. In that, okay, this was how I was picturing it. It was like, we were like, okay, well, this is the way out. We better go down this way. We came across the torture rooms, and then it was like, okay, we should probably do something about this. And instead of going like, right, well, let's go into first gear and see what happens, it immediately jumped to like, okay, we'll jump to fifth gear and murder some people.
It escalated quickly.
Yeah, and then we
really escalated quickly.
Yeah, and then, that didn't work. Let's murder the next group of people. We didn't do it properly. Let's continue murdering until we run out of time.
Oh, it's fine. They were torturing someone. We can totally just murder them.
Well,
That's true, but there's shades of grey in there, and
See, when I listened back to this the first time before like the next episode,
yeah.
I honestly was crying with laughter. I was like, oh god, Meg would have killed you. I think Meg would have either went along with it or been like, no.
What I loved the most about this one was first of all, there was the breaking into the room, setting fire to the man being tortured and the torturer.
yeah, I think that was our first step was a step too far.
And then there was, let's have Karen seduce someone, bringing him upstairs, then realising he didn't speak your language. So killing him.
That was a good plan right up to the point where he couldn't understand us.
The whole
then-
bit where he tried to thought Tubbs was a child and he told him to go
That
away.
was the third one when they got the guy up and it's like, I'll cut your cock off. And then the guy's like, I don't fear your child.
Why is the child talking?
Why is the child talking? And it was like, right, you brought me to it. Ozmand, put his balls up.
Did I go ahead? I don't think I
No,
did.
you
I didn't do that.
No.
You didn't.
Yeah.
You were just like, I don't want to do this.
As with a lot of stuff in this campaign, Ozmand was a reluctant participant at best, especially when it came to this kind of stuff. Like he was in it for the, the drinking and the chilling out with friends, not so much in the stabbing people and cutting off balls.
Murdering babies.
Yep.
Hey, that never happened.
It never happened.
Oh, God. But yes, there was some interesting facts from this one. And then it was let's go down the stairs again, and there's a bunch of them armed, and Tubbs just goes, well, I'm gonna set free all the hippies. Okay.
It's another interesting plan, I feel.
Yes.
I don't remember how well it went, but I can't imagine it went well.
That was you'll have men an enemy of the Vistani.
Yeah, and they
yeah.
left. They
Yeah.
left, didn't they?
They left, but basically that's when you ended up getting wanted posters made of you.
Yeah, that was making an enemy of the Vistani was probably not our best move.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Really.
The next episode was episode 10, which started with you going back to Kresk.
Yes.
Did we go through the swamp at this point?
No, this
No.
what was the...
Later.
Yes, what was the episode after this?
Oh, okay.
This was the one where you met up with Mortkainen and Esmeralda.
Yes.
Oh, the wizard and
Wizard
the
and
apprentice.
Octavio's apprentice, yeah.
Yeah.
And they sent you back to the place where Tammy was before.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When we were going through, it was the clockmaker that was making the noise, not...
Yeah, but we were all super freaked out by not wanting
Yeah.
to run into Tammy again.
You were super freaked out by there being something in the house, but it wasn't actually Tammy, but you never discovered that, so...
No, hindsight.
Our mission was to get the spell.
Yep.
Find
the
spell.
spell, to find the find item spell.
Yes.
Yeah. And didn't you roll really high to find it in the indexes or something? Am I thinking of the earlier one?
No, Amy rolled... This is one where Amy got like 5 natural 20s in one episode.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was so good. It was on
I
fire.
was really going for it that time.
Dicepot was our friend that day.
This is the one that started with you trying to decide how to deliver a package.
Oh, we were gonna drug her with dream
do
pastries.
you knock the door and run away, or do you
Oh.
shut
Yeah.
But we're also trying to keep the dream pastry away from
the door? Tubbs.
Tubs. Yeah.
Tubbs.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
filled it with gravel. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Tubbs and the dream pastries.
Meg was like, I was so tense. I was just like, right, we need to like run. We need to get away from this like whole like screeching door slamming. We know you built it up really well.
Yeah.
It was good.
So it was.
I think especially because we'd been there before and we did, we had all the problem with Tammy before. And then
Yeah.
it was like, we need you to go back in there. Like we had no way of knowing that Tammy wasn't still in
Yeah,
there.
and it was
Yeah.
things like the placing your spoon back immaculately on the table.
Yeah,
But did you
nobody
not-
can't be
Did you
too
not pick
careful.
it back?
Yeah,
Did
he
you not
grabbed it at
pick
the end.
it back?
I think as we ran out, I was just like, oh god, no.
Give me my spoon back.
Here's a ladle.
Yeah, and that's when Karen leapt into the bush as well.
That is, yeah.
She actually hit it this time,
Yep,
but
she
she
hit the
actually
bush
made
this
the bush.
If she hadn't, it would be a lot worse. I don't think anything else happened. This is the one.
That's
that
kind of how it
everything
ended, wasn't it? With us just
was- Yeah,
like,
basi-
booking it
this
out of
one-
there.
This one was you descended through the levels and everything had been like taken apart and meticulously put like in size order and everything like that.
which was pretty freaky.
Yeah.
And then you had the meat room where everyone was sick.
Yeah. Oh god. And he cleaned up the sick. The clockmaker cleaned up the sick. That was so
Yes,
weird.
he did, but you didn't see him. And then you had the
No.
room full of all the books that had been sorted by page number.
That
I thought
was
it
like
just pedanticism to the nth degree.
that whole like desecration of books traumatizes me.
Yeah, it's that. If anything, that was worse than the dead body room.
I was like, oh no,
Broken all the books.
the written word.
It's
No.
not. Yeah, it's just wrong. That was the true
Just wrong.
the true horror of this campaign was that we destroyed so many imaginary books.
And this was also the episode you found the spell to raise Archie.
Yes.
Yeah, that was. Well, Archie didn't come into the second half.
No, I think Archie didn't appear till next week's episode properly, but this is the week you found the spell to get Archie.
Yeah.
Just
So it
checks.
really, aside from the fireball, it took us 11 episodes before Tubbs got a spell he could use.
Yes.
Although, what was the glyph thing? He put a glyph on.
He put a
guard.
glyph on the
It didn't
cart,
do
but
anything,
at all.
Nothing. It was just to freak the rest of you out.
Ah.
It was
So
like,
all-
He kept bringing it up every time we mentioned the...
AJ, all the warning signs were there. We just didn't look.
Yeah. That's true. Well, no, he claimed to be like a wizard, and he put a glyph on the thing. So,
He was a
That's
farmer
gotta be
beforehand.
but like every time we mentioned the cart, he'd be like, "Is my glyph still?"
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like I just kept assuming that it was like some kind of, I don't know, like a low jack on the cart or something,
Played
like-
us.
or like some kind of James Bond style like anti-theft device. Like you try and steal the cart, and it blows off your left half or something.
No, I thought it was more like if you touched like the car, you would like instantly like
Incinerate.
become not incinerate, but like melt and like be like poisoned kind of thing.
Become part of the cart.
Oh, that'd be cool.
that would be horrific.
That is pretty horrific. I might.
Part, and suddenly there's like part of the body melded to it.
No,
Yeah, or
the,
there's like
the
suddenly
cart.
it's got one extra layer of like varnish on the wood, but the varnish has got like screaming faces in it.
Or
That
it's like
would
the
look
wood.
kinda awesome.
The wood of the cart is just absorbed everything, and inside the cart is just the face. What looks like it's just been mounted on the wall.
It's not just like on the bench.
I have a great imagination for like horror kind of like things. It's just like, yeah, that could happen. That'll just happen. That's fine.
But yeah, it did nothing.
No,
So yeah, 11 episodes and he got a spell other than fireball he could use.
mass disappointment.
I think we all believed him though when he said he was
Yeah.
like he said it up front. He's like, I was a farmer who raised the dead by accident, and immediately we all forgot the by accident bit. And it was just him, he was like, oh wow, it's an all-powerful wizard.
Just what you need, an all-powerful wizard.
Yeah, at all times.
So, any other thoughts on episode 10?
No, I think we covered it. Like I said, my
Yeah.
main memory of that is the going back into the abbey, and was it the abbey? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Abbey.
Yeah.
And like just the sort of dread of like creeping around, and we don't want to run into Tammy. That's my main memory of that one.
Yep.
Is this when you found the abbot dead?
No, you found the Abbey dead. That was the last one, at the end of the last
Yeah, I think.
Right, okay, that's fine.
Because that was the same as... No, the book you kill the Abbot, don't you?
I can't remember.
Well, and I think in the actual book, I think you actually have to fight the Abbot. I can't remember though.
I think you do need to fight the abbot, but that's not what we did. So.
No, that's
I think it was the first time we went there that we found the abbot.
Yeah. And I think this time you found... I think the Abbot's body had been returned to his room, but
Yeah.
there was definitely signs someone else was there, and you stole a bunch of ingredients and stuff as well.
That's true. We did have a bit of a looting spree.
Yeah. Anyway,
Before we jumped out the window.
episode 11 was the one where you descend into the swamp with all the goats.
Oh my god, those fucking goats. I swear.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh. Like, if Meg could have killed Tubbs and got away with it, she probably would have.
Oh, little goat! Look
Hi,
on our
little
side.
goats! They're on our... No, it's like freaking black sheep. I love that movie, but no.
He just kept drawing more and more of them in as well.
I know.
Like,
Oh.
if it was just the one, we could have just like sidled past. But
Was
no.
it? Did it not start off with like 2, and then it was like
It started off
5?
with 1, but they just kept
Oh, okay.
appearing and appearing and appearing, yeah.
I think if later on we didn't find out that they were turned into people, I think we probably would have went in a mass goat killing spree to try and get out of the swamp.
Well, we were surprisingly, I think we were like, compared to the amount of like unnecessary violence over the previous 10 episodes that was carried out. The fact that we just were like, oh no, they're just goats, just like, quick, just run away.
Don't harm the goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Our morality is really, really cute.
It's pretty messed up. Bit skewed.
Just a smidgen.
Just a smidge. I think Meghren and Oz and Rosie weren't too bad, but I think Karen and Tubbs really, there's a fracture in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was at about this stage in the campaign that you could start to see which way the group would split at the end of the campaign.
I think that's when Meg had enough of the crazy. She's like, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that with episode 18, I guess, with the
So
getting the hell out of Barovia, but yeah.
Yeah. So this episode starts with the deciding who gets the potion poured over them to tell you the way.
Oh yeah, we poured it on the dog.
Which I'm glad you poured on the dog. If you poured on anyone else, it would have had the... In fact, I think I said in the Q&A, where it's like, any direction you faced, all you could smell would be this horrific, eye-watering burning. Which was interesting. But yeah, just went on the dog, and the dog was fine. The dog was fine.
It's probably the best option there.
Probably
If we
affected
didn't do
him
it
slightly
Archie.
differently.
Mm.
Oh god, I'm so glad we didn't do Archie.
We'd still be playing now.
3 steps later, half an hour goes by.
It's just like a nice, chilled out amble through the swamp, as opposed to.
I think you mean a shuffle.
Shuffle
like
forward,
shuffle.
it lasted several hours.
It's
Yeah.
like being in a never-ending queue.
Oh, we could have stopped for a picnic at least, and just let Archie kind of shuffle on while we sit and have our sandwiches.
But then who'd serve us tea?
That's true. I'd serve my own damn tea.
So yes, so you follow the trail, and eventually, after encountering many bugs, you came to the sort of deserted town.
Oh yeah, and we kind
no,
of hid
there
in
was
the
the-
basement, didn't we?
Sorry, there was a random circle.
Oh
Yeah,
and
what
we
was that?
fully avoided that.
Yeah, were we right to avoid the circle
It
of
was
doom?
black standing stones and all these candles and extinguished candles. It was meant to just be... It's in the book, I think. I think it's a sort of place of power in the book, but I just thought it would be funny to just keep it in because it felt so... Like, it could easily be used for summoning some sort of crazy creature, and I was like, I could easily...
It was super ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get something like that kind of ominous, you don't tend to remove it, so...
We kind of came into a clearing, and there's a whole bunch of standing stones surrounded by candles. It was like a whoop, back slowly away.
Let's go around.
Let's go a long way round today.
Yeah.
And Karen wanted to go through it, didn't she?
Karen wanted to steal candles, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, that's what she wanted to do,
I
yeah.
might need one for my light source.
My matches might go out. But might need some light when I'm reading my book. Oh wait, I don't read.
You don't read, Karen. I'm just gonna start reading with this book here. How to Thieve More Gold.
I'm starting with this book. It goes from A to Z. What is that?
That's
What
a-
is
a
that last
backwards-
letter?
That's a backwards 5.
This all squiggly snake thing at the end here.
So, yes, you get to this abandoned village, and then the goat starts appearing, and then more and more goats start appearing and start eating your clothes.
Yeah, we ran.
Yeah.
We're not very pleased about all the goats.
No, we ran into the house, the big manor house, didn't we?
You ran into the big manor house, which was quite waterlogged, and once you went all the way through that was where you found the Cult of Brian letter,
Ah, the Cult of Brian.
Oh.
which I do love having to explain the relevance of the Cult of Brian in this by saying that it started as the Cult of Blood Rain, then went down to the Cult of B Rain, then went down to the Cult of Brian. It's like, yeah, just,
It's a solid typo.
yep.
It's very Barovian.
So yes, this is also the one that you went through the swamp and you went up the mountain, and
Oh, yeah.
you had the death battle with the
Oh
barbarians.
god. Oh, that was mental. That whole battle was mental. I was so mad with Tubbs. I was so mad. I've never been so mad. Oh, I think that was the turning point for Meg completely. After
Was that the
that,
first time you got set on fire?
no, I think it was probably like the 5th time I've been set on fire. But it was like twice in a row,
Yeah.
and I was holding on to Karen.
Oh, that was the second one. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I
And-
challenge you. You're not gonna do anything to me. Speared through the leg.
Yeah. And I'm trying to save Karen, and then Tubbs puts me on fire. And then I think Oz, you were the one to save us.
Well, what it was, I'll tell you what it was, because I remember you were trying to hold on to Karen, and I tried to chop through the
Oh yeah.
chain with the sun sword, and you got showered in sparks and set back on fire.
Yes, that's what it was.
So I wasn't a particularly big help on
No,
that
this
one.
This is actually something I remember. This is the second time that Oz nearly killed Meg. Because we glanced over the first time, because we didn't talk about it, which was when Oz threw the spear at the treant that missed Meg by about an inch.
Oh yeah.
I think that the main thing though is that both of the times Ozmand nearly killed Meg, it was legitimate accidents.
Yeah, and it was
You need to
bad
be
luck.
like, oh shit, that was bad. But
Oh god.
At
we'd do
least,
it and just be like, you'll be fine. You know?
yeah, at least you apologise.
I just
wow.
love the ching. What the? Sorry.
Like, you can't always account for like wind direction when you're throwing a spear, that you know, and you know, unless you're some kind of Olympic javelin person, and Oz isn't that. But you know, I just want to, you know, because Tubbs just was kind of pretty unapologetic about it. And
Yeah, he
kept
was
doing it.
blasé with his like firebolt and things like that. So
Yeah, a lot of times he'd be told like, yeah, they're kind of near to the firebolt, and he'd fire it anyway.
yeah, he's a more of a kick in the door first.
Set fire to a prisoner. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fire to a hospital.
Because he saw a bug.
Yep. Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, those two. The first one was okay because I was like, oh, Karen's got this. So the first one was fine. The
I think
challenge.
just fell off the platform.
But she kicked him off the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kicked him off. So it was like, oh, we've got a bit of confidence. So when the second one came on, I was like, right, we got this, Karen. And then he just threw the spear through her leg, and it was
Fell
like,
off, yeah.
yeah, and it was like, shit.
Yep.
It's pretty funny though.
And then you had the first and only encounter you had with the great goat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I spotted him as well, didn't I?
Yeah, which you were just like, that's a big goat, oh fuck. Started running towards us, oh fuck.
Run!
Did we hide in a cave or something? Or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, the great
It
goat
caused an
jumped over
avalanche.
you, and then you hid into a cave, and then the next morning you saw the Great Pyramid. And that was the end of that episode.
Yeah. And that was where Karen, we left Karen on the cart and didn't see it again.
Yes.
6 episodes.
Yes.
That was episode 12. So, anything else on episode 11?
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think we've covered that.
Okay. So episode 12 was the Amber Temple. Well, sorry, the original Amber Temple, which was the giant black pyramid.
I have to say, I didn't like this episode.
You didn't like this episode?
I hate puzzles.
Hilarious.
It was so hard. I hate puzzles with colors, and it means I have to remember things. And you were doing it deliberately to confuse us all, and I was like, my brain.
There was a lot of bureaucracy.
Yeah. Oh.
Hysterical.
Oh.
That and what the source material with
Yeah.
Nikoli. This was amazing.
Do you know what it's based on?
I felt it. I was in like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where he's trying to get Trill, whatever her name is, out of prison.
Yeah.
And he's trying to go through all the.
How to queue, yes.
Yeah, and he's in the never-ending queue or a never-ending like. Oh.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, my inspiration for this was based on The Place That Sends You Mad from Asterix.
Ah.
If you ever remember the 12 Tasks of Asterix when he goes to the...
I have not read that one.
I haven't read it. in
It's
about
probably
20
the
years,
only
but
one I've not
vaguely
read.
remember
It's
that
one of the 6 original ones that were made in the cartoon. But basically, they turn up and they need to get this permit, which is, I think, if I remember right, it's permit A38. And everywhere they go, they say, "If you've got the blue form." Well, how do I get the blue form? You need the blue form to get the pink form. So you get the pink form, you get this. And that's what it was all based for. It was all that if you get this gem, I will transmute it to this gem, and then you can take that gem to someone else, and they'll transmute it, and so on. And eventually, you'll get the one you need. But it's the fact that there's some of them that are deaf. There's some of them that don't understand. There's some of them that completely mishear you and send you to the wrong places. It's
There's
all that
even
kind of
someone on a swing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's things like, you get the one you need to go back. Where are they? Oh, they're on lunch. Well, when they back? When they back? Don't know. Tell them. This other window can do it for you. They're on the 5th floor, on the 6th side, number 57. You're like, for fuck's sake! And it's going up and down these stairs all the time. And it's just supposed to just drive you absolutely fucking mental. That's
Well, it
the
worked.
inspiration for the Amber Temple. Because in the book, it's literally just sort of big temple full of some barbarians and lots of caskets that have curses and you can have offers and shit in it. So
Okay, this is the bit that I'm actually here for, is to explain the stuff from the
okay,
book.
Dragon will explain. So I was quite dismissive of the original content, so I'll let Dragon explain.
Yes. Okay, so the Amber Temple was originally built by a monastic order dedicated to the god of secrets.
Ooh.
And they built it essentially as a prison for the evil old powers. So as each of them were defeated or contained or whatever, they were put into an amber sarcophagus in this temple. And this is where the Lich and Strahd got their powers. Because when you go to the temple, if you lay a hand on a casket that has an active old power in it, it will try and seduce you and offer you a bargain. So it goes, I can give you these powers, but it doesn't tell you what the price is until after you accept. So that's how Strahd got his power.
In the book.
In the book, because he went to there because it was really powerful, so of course he did. And he made pacts with multiple of these, and then when he killed Sergei, that was the price for the power, so that's when he turned into the vampire and got the power to turn Barovia into a demi-plane, and the Lich got power from there. Originally the Lich that's in the temple is perfectly happy to help you. He just wants you to bugger off and leave him alone.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a monster inside the statue in the book as well. The big statue in the middle.
I don't remember the big statue, but yeah.
No, there wasn't one in our version.
Okay, that would explain it. So yeah, quite a lot different than what we
I will fully explain why the version I did was so different once Amy's back on.
Yeah.
Because, I read and I listened to what the original thing was, and I felt all of it felt too... I didn't like this whole... There's just so many things I felt were far too... Yeah, what's the word?
It is quite exposition dumpy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's here we go to learn the big secret.
It's like, you turn up here, I want to be a giant Mothman. Well, put your hand on this casket and, I'm now a giant Mothman. Yes, but we've taken away your cock.
No, because, the thing is that the book detailed...
Oh yeah, the book's got 8 pages and 10 pages of the original gifts and stuff it could offer you, and you're just like, for fuck's sake.
So it tells you what they are by which room you're in, but there's about 15 of these sarcophagi. So there's 5 rooms of 3 sarcophagi all spread out around the temple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's flame skulls and stuff. There's all sorts of things in the Amber Temple.
So,
well, we did run into some flame skulls later on, didn't we?
Yeah, we did in Strahd's castle.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So, my version of the Amber Temple, I just wanted it to be something different. I wanted the land to be different. The first thing I did differently was I changed the story of Strahd, and talks about in the beginning there was this great white dragon, or silver dragon, sorry, and the silver dragon put its house down where Argensvold Hall because it wanted to be nearby, and that's the ones Strahd fought. I didn't like that because it felt like
the dragon was there long before Strahd.
I know, but the dragon
had to deal with the Amber Temple.
The dragon put down near Amber Temple to be near Amber Temple.
Because silver metallic dragons are good, so it was trying to.
So there was this silver dragon that just appeared and decided it wanted to live near the Amber Temple in the book, and I'm like, that's fair enough, but I didn't like that. So what I decided to do was to rewrite all of that back history as there wasn't a silver dragon, there was the great black dragon. And because black dragons are deceivers and hoarders, this black dragon craved hoarding very strongly magical artifacts. But he had his hoard, and his hoard was this black pyramid inside this mountain, or outside this mountain. But he had this further away building which he used for when he was pretending to be human, which was Argensvold Hall. And all of his magical artifacts and all of his power and everything was stored in the pyramid, and his person who was like creator of all his stuff was the Lich. So, because when Strahd comes into the land, because I had it that Strahd invaded the land as the head of an army, and they took down the Great Black Dragon. And when Strahd fought the Great Black Dragon himself, he killed it. But before it died, it told him that, I will offer you power. I have all these artifacts. I will give you whatever your heart's desire is. And Strahd was completely corrupted by it. But he still killed the Black Dragon, but he lived in this corruption that he needed to... The dragon had told him that deep in the mountains there's this pyramid, and inside the pyramid is all the power you could ever want. Because the dragon was, one, trying to manipulate him, and two, knew it was going to die. So when Strahd came out of killing the dragon, he demanded his army that he had built this road from Argensvold Halt to the mountain, which became Salenka Pass, I think it is.
But that's the road that we kind of came across and ended up fighting those dudes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this road that goes straight to the mountain, but this road was built by Strahd's army, in my version anyway, because Strahd needed this road built because he needed to know what this power was in the mountain. And when they eventually came to this mountain, Strahd went on his own and came back after several days with this crackling power in him. And then they built Castle Ravenloft, which again built far faster than normal builders would have normally built it. Somehow even the land was helping it get built because he'd made a deal with the Lich. But I'll talk more about that story later on, but the part of it now is that the Amber Temple was basically the home of this Lich, who's now become the owner, and not just the curator, but the owner now of all these magical artifacts, these magical powers, and he basically drips with magic. And he's basically not so much a Godfather character, but someone that you come to and you say, I really want this, and he goes, okay, I'll give you a deal.
I did get that kind of vibe off of him of you come to me on this,
You come to me, and I'll make it happen, just don't you worry about the price.
I'm making an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, the Lich in general my version was much more bluntly scheming. Nothing ever would rise him, if you know what I mean. He feels like
he's fairly unflappable.
Yeah. And the reason for the place to send you mad that was first of all used as a wear down tactic, because if someone comes in and say, I've got these really powerful artifacts, yeah, the Lich will want them, but if they exhaust them and make them run up and down flights of stairs trying to find the right gem, then eventually they're just going to settle for close to nothing when they sell it. So it's manipulation and exhaustion. And it's also they can establish, if someone keeps going, maybe they will get to the end, nobody knows. But it's as soon as they go, I think I'm done, that the contract will walk out from the dust and be like, so, what do you want for that bag of stuff you have? Rather than them trying to bargain or them trying to do a deal, it's much more that once they've been worn down mentally, to the point they can't keep going, then someone steps in and says, so, can I offer you a couple of gold coins for that, rather than a lot of money that you might thought was worth. You just want to get out of here, don't you? Poor thing.
Yeah.
And it's complete power manipulation, and that's basically how the Lich would work. And when you went to speak to him, he talks about the people he's given power to in Barovia. Now, this for me was trying to answer the question of how did certain people get power in Barovia. And it was more than just, someone comes in, they get power. It was someone comes in and they go, well, what have you seen outside in Barovia that could have taken deals from this Lich? Because if something's that powerful, you will see his influence all the way across Barovia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had him, the witches came to him and they said they want power, not power like royalty, but power as in respect. So he gave them the ability to make dream pastries and the ability to... And
they really just wanted to open a small little bakery.
Yeah. So they got power as a dealer, effectively, because dealers have a lot of power and mental manipulation, financial manipulation, all that stuff. They can just charge what they want. And they grew to have this huge, powerful foothold in a lot of Barovia.
They were on the brink of franchising before we burned them down.
And then you had the Werewolf Brothers, who again were two characters that, without it, they just seemed to be like, yeah, we're bandits, we're here. You're like, so? How bandits would survive? And I know Strahd's meant to be this, like, you know, if he thinks it's a challenge, you'll go and deal with them, but when you've got bandits that seem to actually be effective bandits, surely they would be seen as having some kind of power, but just in the book they felt very weak and very closed off, like very small time, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of the main reasons why I had the Lich give them power. Like when they were together, they were very strong. It's only when they split apart they had problems, but because the Lich had given them this power to be very strong, controlling military types, and that's how they'd survived against Strahd. Because Strahd had the Vistani, and the Vistani could have just walked in and killed all the bandits, but there must have been a reason they've survived. The Vistani in the book are drunk all the time, but as lazy and drunk as the Vistani come across, if they'd been bandits that had been causing any problems to them, they would have just wiped them out. So it felt like they needed a reason to still exist.
Well, remember that the Vistani aren't in Barovia all the time.
No, but they have footholds near Vallaki, and is it not one near Kresk as well?
They do, but that suggests that the bandits were actually being an inconvenience to them.
Yeah, but if the bandits were an inconvenience enough, the Vistani would have just wiped them out.
Maybe they were just really crap bandits.
Yeah, but yeah, as I said, they just felt too weak to push to the side, so I felt I should give them a little bit more strength by giving them, you know, reason for being. I did have Udu in this, as Udu was one of the people that came to him and said, you know, he wants to be this voice of the voiceless kind of thing. So we got given that horn, if you remember, that used to attract people to him.
Wolves are people too!
Wolves are people too!
Oh, Meg just wanted to slap him, silly. Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot.
And then finally you had Strahd, obviously, which I've mentioned already, as he gave him power and all that. And we'll come to Strahd properly when we get to episode 18, because there's a lot to talk about there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we got to give him the offer. You know, he offered us deals, didn't he?
He offered you deals. That's the thing. I mean, like, I understand. Like Tubbs, I knew I had a great deal for Tubbs. Like Tubbs is the full embrace of necromancy, the full power that he's never had. Ozmand as well. I could kind of see that you can be this famous guitarist and known for all the land. I had nothing for Amy. I was trying desperately to think of something better than just.
Well, I think the thing with Ozmand was that he already was that.
Well, yes, but it was much more the trying to get in your head that he could make you far bigger than you were, the sort of manager style.
Yeah, but then I think that was where the Lich kind of slipped up a little, because in Oz's head,
he already is.
And it was like, well, now I can do it, even if I'm currently away from my normal, you know, performing grounds. Like, there's nothing stopping me from, you know, just rocking super hard. You know, I don't need any kind of supernatural sort of assistance for this, so I'm not going, you know. I remember being surprised in that, because on the way into that scene, like, because the Lich stepped out for a minute or something, didn't he?
Yes.
And like, Rosie was the one person who was like, no, we can't take it, we can't take any of this stuff, and then he stepped back in and she was the one person who was like, oh, I might take mine. I might have been completely wrong.
Rosie's offer was very much in line with her character. It was like, if someone tells you this, especially as someone with PTSD, someone tells you that they can stop all these intrusive thoughts and memories, it's just incredibly tempting. But as I said, I had nothing for Meg at all. I was trying to think of something. Karen, I was going to do something literally like infinite tobacco or a trailer or, you know, something like that. The thing is, Karen did make that, but it's a different person. So, yeah. But, yeah, what could I have offered you, Meg? What would have been your Lich deal?
Probably away the fuck out of Barovia. Because she just wanted to leave. She just wanted to get on with it and leave.
See, I could have done that somewhere.
Bad of her.
So,
the list was a good one though, because she does want to finish her list, but she wants to be the person to kill everybody on the list.
Yeah.
Because it's varying degrees. There's like the kill list, then there's like the maim, and
I don't think you properly
there's several lists.
Later on though, did you?
Yeah, it was like a couple of episodes before or something where I started talking about the list.
Yeah, I think you'd only talked about it once or twice, but it wasn't something that was so major that I could have done it. I mean, if I'd if I'd realised by the end, I probably would have put like the ability to stealth in and kill everyone on the list without being caught, or something like that.
Oh, she would have liked that one.
Yeah, but that's something that it's more kind of if I'd known that was such a big thing.
Yeah.
I would have done that. But no, it's all about just choosing what things would suit the characters and stuff. So, but yeah, that was the Lich who went to go and find Victavio after you sold him completely down the river.
We're not good people.
I think we didn't know Victavio that well either at that point. It was just like, we were just like, sure, okay.
It's like, who wants this book? Victavio. Who is Victavio?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who Victavio. If you didn't guess, the rich can read minds.
Yeah, I think it's that way as well, that we didn't really know Victavio that well, and we kind of guessed from the way that he was a beastmaster and stuff that he could probably look after himself. So.
In fairness, the Lich didn't get around to getting
what you
Victavio,
said at the time, all of it was, oh well.
That does sound like us, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So that was episode 12, that was the pyramid. Anything else you want to say with the pyramid?
I just think it was really funny how we stepped outside to find Karen on the ground and I can't
Ghost bandits!
Ghost bandits!
That was Ghost Bandits, Tubbs. Episode 13. This was the end of Act 2.
This was like the big fight in the swamp.
This was the big fight in the swamp.
Oh yeah.
This was the big fight between Udu with his horn and some wolves versus the Swamp Witch and all her goats.
Yeah, I mean, it was
dramatic.
Yeah, trying to find. I mean, it's interesting that we decided to get involved in it.
We could have totally avoided it if we wanted to. We could have just left and let them do it.
Like we just come across it and go like, "Whoop, not our fight." That would generally be in character for us, but I can't remember what kind of spurred us into joining in. Did we get attacked by one or the other? Or was it just like Udu's gonna get...
Oh no, it's because Karen got turned into a goat. I can't remember what happened before that.
Oh, she insulted the Swamp Witch, did she not?
That was it, yeah.
That does sound like Karen.
Yeah. Were the goats not herding us into the fight as well, though?
I can't remember.
Possibly.
They were kind of crowding you, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Swamp Witch was Babala Saga, who has a much stronger role in the original book, but I don't understand her character at all in the original book, because I understand bits of it, but it doesn't make sense overall.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly go and grab the remainder of the Fanta out of my fridge while Dragon explains Babala Saga to you.
Oh, great. Okay. So, Babala Saga was the midwife that helped Strahd's mother give birth to him.
Okay.
Right? It does not explain how she got these magical powers, but she's a swamp witch, so we can probably extrapolate from that. It wasn't very pleasant. But essentially, she sees herself as Strahd's kind of spiritual mother, in a way. But I can't find the chapter in the book right now, but I think she was partly behind his real mother dying en route to the kingdom.
Is it possible she was a swamp witch before and she was the only, like, it's not like she was the midwife and then the midwife became a swamp witch. It's more that like she was a swamp witch and she happened to be the only one who was good at the midwifing.
Yeah, she was probably like a friend of the family or something like that.
In the book, basically what it talks about is that she was Strahd's midwife, and she basically wanted to be his mother kind of thing, and she wanted him to succeed. And she got cast out of the castle, I think it was by Strahd's mother who cast her out.
Yes, because she was hugely overstepping because she saw herself as Strahd's spiritual mother.
Yes.
She was kicked out.
But
And
she's kicked
then
out
she
and...
followed him to Barovia.
Yeah, so she follows him to Barovia, somehow manages to find immortality, and...
Or,
lives
as
in the
AJ
swamp.
suggested, started off as a swamp witch.
I don't think she started off as a swamp witch.
It
It
doesn't
would make more sense though.
it does not say at which point she becomes a swamp witch, so it's viable.
Yeah, and it's I could go back and say hi to Strahd, but I don't think Strahd would like me, so I'm just going to stay in the swamp near him and just look at him.
Strahd despises her because he adored his mother.
Aww.
So he absolutely... Yeah, but he adored his mother in,
It doesn't
like, the Madonna whore
Ugh.
dichotomy.
Ugh.
So he was the Madonna and everyone else's... Yeah. So
I don't think it ever
it
says
sounds
Strahd
really
doesn't-
sweet, but it's... Yeah.
I don't think it ever said Strahd doesn't like her. I think it says that she's worried Strahd would reject her.
No, Strahd does not like her. He does not want her around.
I thought it said she would go back, but she thinks Strahd might reject her because she was cast out when Strahd was still quite young, and she's never shown her face around him because she thinks that he might reject her, and that would be the biggest problem. So that was my understanding of it anyway.
Oh well. So yes, so there was all of that, and she did have goats. She used goats as blood sacrifice.
Yeah, she didn't turn people into goats though.
No, but she also had... Right. So the hut is sentient because one of the wine gems is inside it,
Yeah, we found that. We pulled
and
it out.
the hut will try to eat you when you're trying to get the gem. And she also flies around in the skull of a hill giant.
That's odd.
Right. Can I just say this?
Certainly has.
Nowhere else does it mention hill giants.
Can I say this point, right? She flies around in the floating skull of a hill giant, right? Okay, fair
Certainly
enough.
knows how to travel.
Yeah, fair enough, right? There's no hill giants mentioned anywhere near Barovia. There's no hill giants mentioned anywhere else. There is a giant dragon skull mentioned that just sits around gathering dust in a cellar.
Yes.
Why didn't they just use that like I did?
Yeah, but
But
there isn't
yeah.
there's no like smart car dealership near me, but there's a couple of people I see riding around town in them, so
Yeah, but
like
when there's another giant skull just lying around doing nothing.
yeah, but maybe she didn't know about the skull. I'm not
It is a bit of a big loose thread, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said, like, because I had her, she did do the floating around, she floated around in the giant dragon skull. Because
I just had a picture of her wearing it, and her like floating around with the skull, like a mask kind of thing.
Oh, when you said that, I had an image of like the skull is like tilted forward, so her arms are sticking out of the side, eye socket, and just the mouth is like slightly open, and like the lower half of her torso is kind of sticking out of the bottom of the mouth. I'm like,
she sort of dives
I'll have
into
to
the
draw
front of it and wears it like a sort of super mask.
I'll have to draw a diagram.
I think in the book she just sort of floats around it like, what's the one in Mario, the one that sort of upside down cup that they sit in and sort of bobs around.
Oh, I can't remember.
You know the one I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's that. So I think that's what they do it. But I just felt that when there's this gigantic dragon skull just lying around, why has she got this hill giant skull when there's no hill giants anywhere near where the fuck they are? Yeah. As I said, that was maybe just something on me, but I just felt like, why? When there's this huge thing you can use, why are you using this?
I think by this point of going through the book, you were also just quite done with all of the loose ends that there are.
There are so many loose ends.
It's got all the loose ends so that you can spin it any way you want as your story,
Yeah.
but it does make it slightly awkward to
It
read.
makes it so frayed by the end, though.
Well, no, because they expect DMs to do... Okay, not to the extent that you did, but they do expect them to tie all of that in together.
But they
And
don't.
there's bits you don't need to put all of it in one go, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like leaving tiny bits of stories of frayed edges. It feels bad and looks bad. Don't like it.
Well,
So-
you rounded everything off, so it was fine.
Yeah.
I've drawn a diagram of the swamp witch and the skull, but I'm obviously feel free to cut this out.
So you've had the epic combat scene in this episode.
Oh my
We did.
god,
Including,
that was amazing.
Karen bolt kicking Amy in the stomach and Ozmand crotching himself.
Yeah, that happened.
But we murdered the Ent house, the living house.
Yes?
That what?
Oh,
That's fantastic.
wow.
She does not look happy.
That is fabulous.
That's
Love
fantastic.
See what I mean? You know, arms out of the eye
Yeah.
sockets. And,
Yeah, wearing it like, yeah.
but it's not comfortable, as you can see.
No, God no. Well,
Yeah, the
it
teeth are going to be in a really awkward place.
It depends how sharp
I'm
the
assuming
teeth are,
some of them have been strategically removed. To allow
I'd hope so.
Fair enough.
it's not practical, is what I'm saying. But it certainly sends a message. Yeah.
So, you had the combat, you killed the Swamp Witch, and you looked in the house, And this is where you found the wrapped baby that Ozmand was nowhere near, but still
No.
blamed for.
Yeah, the baby died in my arms.
I had nothing to do with that.
Exactly. And I was very sad.
Why? Because you didn't have anyone to blame it on?
No, because the baby died in my arms. Meg is not without heart.
Yeah.
The baby also had a locket on it with a picture of Timothy in it, which is your first major, I think, clue of who Timothy was.
Yeah.
You hadn't worked it out by this point.
No, well, we definitely hadn't worked it out at that point, I don't think.
CSI Barovia had lost all integrity by this point.
We were never the best detective agency.
No.
We were just the only detective agency.
In Barovia.
Just because we're the only one there doesn't mean we're any good.
Yeah.
That was quite apparent.
So, you took the skull to Fergus. After ripping the gem out of the ground, you took the dragon skull to Fergus, who seemed very happy, and he took you to the Thunder Forge,
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
which you were all like, enchant my weapons, enchant my weapons, enchant my weapons.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Should we not have enchanted all of our weapons?
Like, the way I did the weapons in this was the forge was much of a soul-stealing weapon, because that was the red shimmer on the weapons. This is to explain why the soul numbers were dwindling in Barovia, because you had like a Frostmourne style weapon that would consume souls rather than leaving them out in the world.
So people keep getting stabbed by these weapons
people
and
keep
not
getting stabbed
passing on
by-
properly.
When you've got a realm that no one can leave from, a soul weapon is huge and very powerful. But it was originally the dragon's style weapon had this, I think it was a red glaive, but I don't think I ever put it actually properly into the recordings. But yeah, it was a soul drinker weapon effectively, like it was a weapon designed to steal the soul of someone, so that was them,
So they could
proper damnation and all that stuff.
And then that was the souls were becoming like a limited resource at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was that, and the other thing I was going to use that for, which I don't think I did properly, I could have done more with it, was the fact that Fergus mentioned before that he'd worked on your sun sword. It was because he'd removed the original holy blessing on the blade.
Ah, right, yeah.
And
Yeah, I think part of the problem with that was that I think Ozmand was going through the title of Sun Sword and just maybe didn't think that it didn't have a holy enchantment on it, right up until the point where, at one point, I think this was after Meg made me stab Shania Twain,
Yeah.
that no, this is a soul drinker weapon. And I think you told me this out of character.
yeah,
And I was just like, oh, okay. I was thinking Sun Sword was like a holy thing.
I know it's because I think
It was.
you got told it,
It was.
in the mirror episode
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you told it, and then you told it, and you started banging your head off the floor.
Yeah.
It's the mirror told you what's been happening. One thing we did glance over was the amulet you found in the model version of the castle in the pyramid.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Came in very handy later, eventually,
Yes.
after we remembered to use it.
Yeah. So basically that was the final thing you needed to kill Strahd, because it was the sunlight weapon, and it was built or created, by the Lich, effectively in this case, so that there would be something to annihilate Strahd, because it's all right giving him power, but it's good to know what can
Balance.
kill him if he gets too much, if you know what I mean.
It's like the Batman Superman thing.
Yeah.
Like to
Yeah.
balance it out, to balance everything out though as well.
So you enchanted your weapons in the
And then Tubbs brought the building down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As I was going to say, originally the plan
No
for
way
the
you were
soul
keeping a pyramid.
soul weapons was going to be the next episode when you got arrested. You were going to feel drained, and you would have thought it's because we've been through this huge trial process, or Oz might be Oz because I've lost my guitar. Actually, it's because the soul drinker weapons are very powerful, and like they will drain the person who wields them over time. So it was going to have an actual adverse effect on you the longer you had it.
Oh no.
But none of you seemed to. I don't know if I didn't put it in properly or none of you saw it, but
I think we were all just pretty tired anyway,
Yeah.
in character. I mean,
think-
of just sort of.
Yeah.
I think
so-
at the point that you'd done the trial one, I didn't know if I'd had time to do it, so I think I just did everything a bit quicker than I should have done. But that was the original plan for it anyway.
Yeah.
So, yes, you enchant your weapons. You get the building off of Fergus, who leaves, taking his master's.
That's
body
our second
weapon.
bit of property that we lost.
Yeah. No, third.
third? What was the
Third.
What was the second?
Well, did we not like have the house the kids had, and then we had the windmill?
Oh no, I thought we.
Oh
just
no,
did
we
it.
had the abbey.
You had Abbey, you
Oh,
had the
yeah.
windmill, and you
Oh.
had Arkansas.
Arkansas.
2 of them
Yeah.
destroyed.
Because of Tubbs.
Yeah,
Tubbs and that new staff of his.
would not rent to him.
Yeah, we told him to go outside.
Okay, so that's destroyed. You go back. You bump into Edmonds on the road, who was very happy to see you,
Love Edmonds.
and you get back to Kresk, where Esmeralda was very much you don't know me, don't talk to me. Which none of you signed clipped as there being something wrong, you just thought she was being a bitch. So I was like, I can't make this any more obvious.
See, I thought we'd done something wrong to piss her off, and we're just like, okay, whatever, fine, don't.
No, Meg went to the bar and she's like, "Well, leave her alone. We won't talk to her."
Oh, yeah, Edmonds
like,
was
come
in
on,
the
guys,
bar,
come in,
wasn't it?
come
That
in.
was it.
Yeah, Edmonds is in the bar. It's like, "We'll have a drink with Edmonds. Come on, guys, just come and sit down." And then Isaac
As it
burst
bursts
through the door.
going, "You're Nick, son."
Got
Because
fully,
I think that was the
fully
best use of
arrested.
Isaac that we had, because I was like, I need to find something he's good at, and he's basically was good as being this like travel through wind and snow cop.
Snow cop.
You're Nick, son. Come with us.
He bangs the door open with his messed up fake arm. Hello. Well, if it isn't CSI Barovia, you're coming with me, you dirty people. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've never
Nick, son. I've not had any
I
lunch.
assume how they talk.
But yes, Karen trying to refuse it and Isaac smashing her face off the bar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then you look outside and Rosie's being bundled into the cart, and you're just like,
Rosie.
guess we should probably go then. So yes, that was the end of Act 2. Anything else you want to add on that episode?
It was a surprising end to it.
It was a nice.
Not that
twist.
I saw the rest of it coming. I think I just mean I didn't expect us to get arrested. You know.
Yep. So, episode 14, possibly one of the best episodes.
I think we all
Because it starts with something serious and ends in bloody violence.
we all took it a bit far.
Yes.
I think the stress from the being
Part
on
1
trial.
could have affected part 2, yes, I know.
Yeah, the stress kind of just pushed us all over the edge.
So, episode 14 was indeed you being put under trial in Vallaki.
Yeah.
So,
It was a kangaroo court.
There was a lot of, we didn't do this. That's not what happened.
I did love that it started that we didn't do that, and as the charges got more and more, it became a, well, maybe we did that one, but not the rest of them, and oh my god.
We might
Yeah.
have done that, but I definitely didn't stab any babies.
Yeah, it was really funny. It's like we were kind of arguing amongst ourselves in the courtroom, and they were all just
I'll sell you
watching.
all out.
Yep.
And they were all watching us just murder ourselves, basically.
Yep.
And then we just started blaming Isaac.
Well, it's good to know we didn't let the fact that we were on trial stop us from bickering.
That's where you know love is real. In the darkest of moments.
So you arrive in Vallaki and Ismark's been killed,
Oh, I was sad about that.
which I thought was an interesting start to it, because I was like, I need to find a way to kill off his character because, loose threads and all. So
Well, in fairness, in the book, he basically disappears.
yeah,
He slipped in the bath,
slipped in the lake. But yes,
fell over and
so-
drowned in a puddle while drinking.
So Ismark is dead, and you get pulled up before the court. I actually have a list of all the crimes, so I'm just going to quickly run through them.
Yeah, go for it.
Found covered in priest's blood. Kneecapped
Not
an
my
old
fault.
woman who they brought the old woman in, and she was like, "You!" And all of you are just like, "Fuck, it's her." Stole her cart, burning down the mill, killing the witches. Public nuisance, playing the squeeze box in public.
I continued. I defied that one.
Breaking and entering, stealing property, which is Burgomaster's house. Damage to property. Creating and leaving lead statues around the place.
Hey, we did that. We made one statue.
Freeing political prisoners. Escaping the law of Vallaki.
We might have done
Abducting Owen Wilson. Who is that? Because they thought they were trying to say, is this the person in charge of your operation? Is that why we've not seen them? Manipulating a grieving family into giving you a discount for wine. Telling everyone loudly and proclaiming the murder of Vistani. breaking, entering, looting, jailbreak, and murder of Vistani in Argensville Hope.
That might happen.
Impersonating the law.
We never made out that we were cops. We just said we were investigators.
Yeah, I made that
Illegal-
abundantly clear.
Illegally obtaining property, and leaving
no, that was
drummer
all nice and
wanted
legal.
signs around the place, and then Stella's necklace, which Karen had. That was just a short list.
Your Honour, I move for a mistrial.
Yeah, Sam. We did though. We did get a mistrial.
But
Our
In a weird way, though.
accusers are dead. There is no crime.
And we killed the judge.
Exactly.
Mistrial.
As soon as someone brings up like, oh, you were helping a political prisoner. They're a political prisoner by definition. They haven't done anything illegal.
Yeah.
You are preventing a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, we just got to ignore all the other crimes that we 100% did.
I love the concept of this episode because you don't get arrested or anything in the book, but the book wants you to meet Lady Watcher.
Yes.
And Lady Watcher's basically, her big thing is, do you like Strahd? Great, I'm his cousin. That's really her whole
Pretty
shtick.
much.
Yeah.
But also
literally-
being really creepy.
Yeah, if you say, I don't like Strahd, she goes, oh, well, I don't like you then. That's basically her whole thing, is that, you know, if you like her cousin, she likes you. If you don't like her cousin, then she doesn't like you.
I think it worked better to actually have us arrested because it made us stop and think about all the stuff that we'd done.
Yeah, it was really nice, like refreshing our memory and like chatting about in character what we'd done and
Yeah.
I just
It
like
was
the
good.
idea of you all being pulled up for all your crimes halfway through the thing. Because you'd done
Yeah.
all these things so far.
Yeah,
It
in
was
like over
good.
the course of like 13 episodes previous to this as well, which like in game time wasn't really a huge amount, and it
wasn't
was
that
just like, here's this laundry list of stuff you've done.
And then you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
But like going into
Yeah.
it, we were like, we are innocent of everything, and then they read the list of crimes, and we're like, okay, we're innocent of some of it, you know.
But then after we like got thrown in jail and escaped, we kind of made good on our criminal activities.
Well, we already had the rep. We might as well live up to it.
Yeah, we might as well. We had the rep. We might as well do the crime.
Yeah, so...
You know, we were a very successful group of murder hobos.
Yes.
In my defense, I didn't murder. Is it? I just painted things in his blood.
Yeah, I didn't kill him. I just ripped his
Yeah.
arm off.
So yes, that was the first half, and then you got thrown in jail being told that you will be executed soon, I think it was.
But we had nothing to lose at that point.
And then
Yeah.
you got broken out by Esmeralda. You had your
That
moment
gypsy.
of Octavio's assistant.
Yes.
And then that was the point where you were meant to roll high enough to see her in the crowd. And then go,
Yeah.
maybe this is what happened, but none of you rolled high. So it's like, oh, no. None of you see anything, just...
We can never do the thing when we need to do the thing.
Yeah. The dice bot just does not like us.
No.
So you then broke out. You had the great principle of Tubbs running into doors,
Oh God.
which was the running into doors, the guy walking out, looking down, going, "What are you saying, child?" And him going, "CSI motherfucking Barovia."
Yeah.
I mean, it worked a couple of times.
But yes, so you got out of there. Then there was the cat nonsense.
Yeah.
The bag of cats that we found
Well,
were
there was-
actually people.
There was the two brothers and Stella,
Yeah.
Poor cats.
which were Lady Watcher's sons, who were basically described as drunks,
Yeah.
and Stella. So we had to explain what Stella was and her association with Victor and all that. I honestly was wondering if Karen was going to smother the two brothers.
I'm surprised we brought them along, to be honest.
I think we were kind of just in a rush to get out of the building because
It's
we.
just kind of, just grab them, let's go.
Because did we not set the place on fire as well?
That does sound
Basically,
like
what
it
happened
does.
is you killed Izek. Izek came. There was two locked doors. One had evidence in it. One had Izek, and Izek woke up, came through. You murderized him. No other way of putting
Yeah.
it. You murderized him, ripped his arm off,
Yep.
Yep.
got his keys, painted his dolls with his own blood, and
Meg
left them
takes
in a
great
circle
pride.
around him.
Then I left his arm on the
Yeah,
table.
You broke through the evidence locker, took all your gear back, left Izek's arm with a single finger pointing up.
Total Deadpool style.
I then
Yeah.
had to explain to you how the cat transformation book worked. You then converted the two brothers into cats and Stella into a cat, after realizing that you can convert her into a cat, then back again. So this poor girl goes from meow to actual cat to where am I? How did I get here? And then you just turn her back into a cat again.
She was easier to deal with as a cat.
Yeah.
In fairness, you do kind of like psychologically torture her when she's human.
I gave that girl so many chances to like live.
Really?
I did. I did.
That way.
I did. I gave her so many. I tried to save her, and I ended up impaling.
This is also the episode where you find out that Isaac killed Piccolo, the toy maker's monkey.
Oh yeah.
And they also found that the talisman has got Draconic written on it. Now, the point of the talisman having Draconic written on it was meant to tie back into the fact that the Lich speaks Draconic, and yeah.
I think at that point we tied it more to the dragon than the Lich, though.
Yeah.
But yes, that was it, and then you killed Lady Watcher. Lady Watcher in the book sleeps with her dead husband, who's
Lovely.
been just left on her bed, and she casts a sort of, well, bluntly, some kind of freshness spell on him every day.
Yeah.
Preservation spell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone who's badly in need of a body pillow.
Yes.
Leave Belry out of this.
Exactly.
Necrophilia is alive.
Badly in need of an
No.
anime body pillow.
She sleeps on the bed beside
Yeah.
her husband's corpse.
Oh, okay.
There is no
Yeah.
necrophilia.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Not according to the book. What you have in your head is another matter.
there was a point I genuinely thought about giving it something even creepier, like some sort of magic spell that makes him hard so she could fuck it, but
Well, that's...
I was like, that's too far.
I mean, how are you going to bring that into the conversation as well?
I was going to have Tubbs stunned all over it and then go, what's this button do? And as he watches the thing rise, he goes, oh god. But yeah, it's like, no, that's too far. I'm not going to do that. That's too far.
I am so trying not to squeak right now.
But you did. It was hilarious. I'm leaving the squeak in. There we go.
Damn it!
Okay.
So yes, I just had this image of Tubbs coming in, falling over this like stick with a button on it, and then being like, oh, oh, and then
Said like it would have had like a remote control.
yeah,
Well, that's
and Karen just being
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a remote control, Tubbs. It's for this.
I have to mute my microphone.
Broke Amy.
I know I broke Amy. It's fine. So we move on from corpse fucking to Tubbs and Karen setting fire to the building after breaking Lady Watcher's legs.
That
yeah.
was so dark.
I think the operative thing there is we move on to Tubbs and Karen doing that, which seemed to happen a lot.
Yeah, they're really bad, those two. The duo
They're
is
not
just
nice
terrible. No, they're really not.
I just love that Esmeralda saying, right, be very careful, be very quiet, you know, escape quite carefully. Tubbs and Karen going, I'm going to break her legs.
Oh god.
Okay, sure.
I feel like careful and quiet isn't really in the group's vocabulary.
No.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I think some of you could manage it. Unfortunately, you had Tubbs and Karen with you.
Yeah. And the dice bot hates me.
Oh, but yes, that was that. You set it on fire, and as you leave Valaki, as it catches fire and is significantly burning down, as this woman is burning to death behind you, and you've stolen her sons, which you've turned into cats.
Which is accurate.
Yeah, we crossed the line in that episode.
Yeah. That was one I was, by the end of it, I was kind of sitting there going like, wow, I'm so glad I never need to meet these characters, ever.
But you get to meet the players.
Players are fine.
This entirely depends on if Tubbs plays Tubbs in Out of the Abyss.
That's
Oh, God.
true.
Oh,
That would be really funny.
After escaping Barovia, he was arrested by the Drow,
Yep, could
who
happen.
were finally going to hold him for his crimes.
Oh, anyway. Anything else to say on episode 14?
No, I think we covered most of. I can't think of anything else that. You
Jumps out.
The big bits that jump out are just the taking of the arm and just.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah, 'cause that was a bit odd.
Episode 14 ends with you being dropped off at the crypt level of Castle Barovia.
yes.
So this is the final few episodes of you running around Castle Barovia. The crypt level was basically you're in this like raining graveyard, and you find a couple of interesting graves.
Yeah.
This was where we messed up.
Some of which I thought you would actually understand where they were coming from and referencing, but none of them you did. So
really surprised that you're all just like, ah.
Can you refresh my memory what they said?
one said coral, which had she almost made it. Thought you would have got that one.
Oh, that was what Karina's character was going to be
That
called.
was Karina's character, yeah, and it was.
Yeah.
It was a mark to Karina's character who didn't actually make it into the episode, so...
I get it now, but yeah, I think in the spur of the moment where we were just like, we just got to this graveyard and like I wasn't thinking references at that point. I was, yeah.
The one that Mads was enraged about because she insisted I put it in was the grave with Art Stanton. And the grave with Tuco, which was the reference to... I'm going to get the film wrong because I can't remember which one it is. It's either A Few Dollars More or one of those ones where there's the fortune buried in the grave.
Oh, well, that's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I haven't watched that since I was about 12.
Yeah, but Mads insisted that I put that in the episode, and then...
It's a good reference, we didn't get it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I put the one in about the flying machine. I don't think I did. There's a skeleton described that's basically buried, like, harnessed into a flying machine. But I think I put that in, but I don't think you looked at it, so we can just pass that one. Then you had Sergei's tomb.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Actually, no, sorry.
This,
Sorry. Then you had the thigh bone of St. Markovia,
Yes.
which was meant to tie back to the statue in Kresk.
And the abbey and everything.
And the abbey and everything else. But yes, then you have Sergei's tomb, which is a white marble tomb which you descended down, and there were two statues flanking this giant painting of a man and a woman, and the woman was Owen Wilson or Shania Twain, whatever the fuck we called her at this point. And the man was Strahd-like, but not Strahd. And that was meant to be Sergei and Irina.
So yeah, we kind of
Sergei
desecrated
Tatiana.
that.
It was fine and lovely until you decided, for some reason, did you turn the guy back from a cat before you stabbed the girl, or did you stab the girl first?
No, the cat things happened first.
Yeah, we murdered
Then it
one
was
of the
like, I
brothers.
guess let's check out these
no
tombs.
idea where Meg got. We need to murder these corpses.
I think it was.
Zombies, dragons, zombies!
No.
I think it was more the fact that I was really she was really creeped out by the whole statue and like paintings.
Sort of
and
wet
things.
body, yeah.
This was the first place you'd been where it didn't feel like doom and gloom and
Suspicious.
depression and
Suspicious.
Nikolai gave you a positive point and you slaughtered it.
They stabbed it in the head, and then she disappeared from the portrait. Which I thought was a really nice touch, because he disappeared from the portrait, and then all of you were like, fuck,
Oops.
he looks quite
On the other
sad,
hand-
she's no longer there. Fuck.
It did mean that Strahd was pretty much incapacitated with grief, which made him easier to deal with.
Yeah. So it kind of worked in the end.
I think this was the point where Ozmand really was just fully depressed because these things just kept happening around him and him being forced into things. And I think Meg, like, I was holding the sword and Meg was like, just do it and just
See, it wasn't just me. It was everybody else.
no,
I just helped push the blade.
Yeah, I just think it was like
entirely you driving that whole thing.
Was it? Okay.
Yes.
You have to remember now that you're one of the few groups who can honestly say you killed Irina in Curse of Strahd.
Well, she drowned. She was already dead.
No, you properly, full-time killed her, dead. She wasn't coming back.
Oh well, she'd lived too long anyway.
No, oh my god, she was reincarnated the same as every other soul in Barovia.
She's dead now.
Yes, she is.
Well,
yeah, Ozmand wasn't in a great place after this. He felt peer pressured and just generally like he didn't want to. It was like, why am I with these people?
It was the fact that you killed... Was it you killed the first cat guy? No, the first cat guy ran away because you didn't
We never
shut
saw
the
him
bars.
oh yeah, he
And then
ran,
you were like,
and
we
then
really
we.
should have shut those bars. And then the second cat guy... No, the first cat guy you killed. And then you put him in the grave with the stabbed body of Sergei.
Yeah.
God.
Because Tubbs is like, I'm not weird, I'll put it in with him. Okay.
I also love the bit where you stab Irina's body, or Tatiana's body, I suppose, and then decide that the best thing you can do at that point, after realising it's gone bad, is to stab Sergei's body.
Just to even it out a bit. You know.
Maybe they'll be
think-
happy together, trapped in
And
the snowbird.
Karen at that
They'll no
point was
longer
just
be happy together.
Karen at that point was just punching the corpses.
Yeah, she was. She was.
You're not dead, you're faking.
So yeah, that was an interesting episode. I mean, they were all interesting, but it was just one of those things where we spent the majority of it holed up in a small tomb,
Yeah.
brutalizing some
I think-
corpses that
I
were the
think-
only good people in the whole land.
This is probably why after like the whole like Isaac murdering thing, this is what like broke Meg completely. Like she had her moment and then she went, fuck, what have I done? And then that's why she was like, I need to get out of here. I need to
I'm
leave.
going to retire, run a tavern,
Yep.
I'm gonna pull
not kill
pipes.
anything.
Not gonna kill anything unless it's in my bar and it tries to blow up my bar or burn my bar, it's gonna get killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, after you killed a catman and 2 very content corpses that just wanted to be left alone, and turned Stella back into a person, you went into the castle itself. Actually, no, you saw a panther.
Pascal.
It was Pascal, and he led you into the basement where you found the old man trapped in the cage,
Yes.
Yeah.
which was literally just a throwback to the Amber
Amber
Temple. I'm
Temple.
not really sure why he was there, but I put it as Strahd got sick of the fact that he was also at the top with the. Do you have the orange gem? I can transmute it to the scarlet gem.
Did I ask him for the pink one? Because that
Yes,
was the
you
one I
did.
needed for the elf. I was like, have you got the pink one? Like,
Well, we never actually properly mentioned Ozmand and the pink gem.
no, it was an odd joke. I was almost making a joke at that point of like, Osmond was on the road to depression at that point. Like suddenly like, oh, there's this like
Ray of hope.
rather pretty elf lady,
This
and he was
pretty
just like,
buxom elf, yeah.
yeah, just like, I could just hang out here,
Have you got the pink gem? Well. Oh god. So, yes, the cat disappears with the old man, and that's the end of episode 15. Do you have anything else you want to add to that episode?
No.
I think we've dwelt on the misery long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, Amy, I think that was the point for both of us where both of our characters were just like, by that
Done.
point, like, we're done with Barovia, let's get
Yep.
the hell out of Dodge. Sort of thing.
Like I couldn't trust anything. Meg couldn't trust anything anymore.
Episode 16 was the servant floors of the.
Well, there was the floating
Castle.
skulls first, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There were floating skulls who. I don't think you ever asked the name of, but they were called Stefan Grigorovich and Gregor Stefanovich.
You did. I remember.
We did talk about them, yeah.
But basically they were, in my head, based around the traditional 2 guardians, 1 lie, 1 tell the truth, only I took that bit away. So they were just these 2 bickering idiots that were just left to guard this door, but the door wasn't locked.
I liked them. They were fun.
And then
You're gonna-
Tubbs killed them.
And then
Yeah, until Tubbs killed them.
I just had some.
Just kind of released them.
Yeah.
Into the
He released
atmosphere.
them like balloons.
Into
Be free.
the atmosphere.
Fly
It's
wild amongst the
Barovia.
cosmos.
If no one can get out of the sides of Barovia, I'm pretty sure that Strahd's power means they can't get out the top.
It's not a dome, it's a cylinder.
But yeah, there was just some weird shit. I decided that I should ask you and see how long it takes you for asking about inane things for you to actually get bored. Like, what do you call a picture of 1,000 words?
I don't think we waited that long though, did we?
No,
No, Karen
It's
didn't
like,
had his hand enough.
Should dictionary be in the dictionary? If you were a stone in a wall, what stone would you be? It's just this kind of nonsense where you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you walk past, open the door, and then Tubbs released them into the atmosphere.
Which I think was uncalled for at that point because
Yeah, I felt sorry for
he
them.
was just like going for a full clean sweep, like no survivors.
I genuinely thought about having Strahd, like, you found Strahd, like, trying to beat them off the top of a pillar they'd got stuck under with a broom? Because he wouldn't shut up.
They're continually shouting at him. Yeah.
They're like, it's Strahd! You shouldn't wear your hair like that, Strahd, you're going bald!
He's trying to knock them down with a golf umbrella.
Like the, like the gnomes in Fable, or the gargoyles in Fable. They just constantly bicker. And just imagine Strahd like standing on top of his throne with a broom trying to like bat one off the pillar it's stuck on. But yeah, I didn't put that in, it felt a bit too silly.
Yeah.
But yes, this is also when you rediscover Tammy!
Yay, Tammy.
Oh my god, that was terrifying. She was terrifying.
We thought we'd escaped her at the Abbey, and then there she was.
That was terrifying to listen to.
The escape was mental. I was so stressed.
I found it hilarious. We found the towel room, right? We all need to fit in the towel room. Let's rip these towels out. All right.
I did like the Tubbs being like, no, it's a solid wall. Nothing can go through this. Knocks on it and immediately falls through the wall because it's made of paper.
Yes.
And poor Gertrude's probably dead.
Oh god, Gertruda. Yeah, this is where you found Gertruda. Do you know? I think I said this to you before, but you remember the purpose of Gertruda, don't you?
Yeah, she was going to be the new body that Arena's soul went into.
Yeah.
Which all of you were like disgusted about, and I was like, she's actually 18, and all of you went, oh, we thought she was like 12, and I'm like, no, I couldn't live with myself unconscious if I did.
I think I was picturing her like 15, like the way you described it.
Because stealing a woman's soul to put someone else's soul in there, it's so much less of an issue if they're over 18.
Oh, I'm not saying the age was the only issue.
What Strahd wanted to do to her, I think it was, but yeah.
But at that point, we had run into a lot of people who'd had their teenage daughters stolen.
Yeah.
So I think in my head, I was just like, oh, this is one of those 15-year-olds we were keeping an eye out for, and never found.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness.
So she was working in the kitchens, and yeah, basically that was her character. And she was the only one Tammy hadn't killed, which I wasn't sure if I would have let Tammy kill her given time, or if it would just be Tammy ignores her for some reason.
Yeah, my read on it was that Tammy had just kind of ignored her.
Yeah, I thought since she's under like Strahd's protection, she would have gotten a free pass.
At least how I was picturing the layout, I was picturing it as like there was no way that her and Tammy hadn't crossed paths. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I think
at least that was
Tammy's character was very much that she doesn't play well with anyone.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how best to do it, but basically I just had it that she just kept herself to herself and locked the door, and Tammy just ignored her because of it.
Yeah, I took it as that Gertruda had kept out of her way and hadn't created so much of a mess that Tammy went on a rampage.
Yeah.
Yes. I do find it hilarious that let's cause a mess, why Tammy will take time to clean it up. Okay.
It worked.
I don't know if I can follow that statement. But yes, basically, Tammy was there, and you spoke to Gertruda, who eventually kicked... Why did she kick Tubbs out for? What did Tubbs say to her that she kicked him out?
I think he was just being rude to her, was he not?
He was just generally Tubbsing it up, I think.
Yeah.
He gets kicked out of the room, and he just frantically hides in the linen cupboard.
Non-specific Tubbs behaviour, you can add that to the list of charges.
And then there was the attempting to turn Tammy into a cat.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Then there was the escaping through the kitchen. Which again was...
Well, that went well, because I managed to grab another couple of pieces of
kitchen equipment.
I think we can call that a success.
And then you had the explosion, the cauldron, and trying to escape the dumbwaiter after realising that the door was locked.
Yeah.
It took you so long to think of the dumbwaiter.
Yeah, I think I was picturing like a very small dumbwaiter.
Yeah, I think I was doing the same, like a very small hatch opening.
Well, and like in my head.
But also this was built as a castle that contained an army.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we're not competent.
We've made that fairly clear.
I feel like if we were a competent party, we could have done this in like 15 episodes.
So
speedrun Curse of Strahd.
Speedrun Curse of Strahd. So you escaped from Tammy after Tammy nearly got you, and after having to drag Tubbs and Karen to the dumbwaiter, and Tubbs' fond farewell to Karen thinking she died.
Yet again, I had to rescue Karen.
Yeah.
At that point, I was just angry with Tubbs and wanted to make him feel like he'd lost the love of his life.
Yeah.
We were all a little kind of like, okay, we've got this little guy who keeps setting us on fire.
You wanted to put the knife into his heart emotionally and twist it.
He kept throwing me under the bus for stuff, like uncalled for.
Stabbing stuff.
Yeah, and like, you know, it was little comments of like, I felt like Tubbs always, when it came to like having to kick down at someone, Tubbs would always make a comment about Ozmand.
Or Meg.
Yeah, and it was just sort of like, at this point, like, I was kind of playing it as like, Ozmand has kind of, he's reached his limit with Tubbs.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've had however many, if we sat down and figured out how much time has passed in game since we put on the prison car, I mean, it can't have been more than a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
But either way, it's been like a non-stop couple of weeks of Tubbs continually getting them into these situations and then making like comments to Ozmand that like sort of knock his self-esteem and
he's wore him down.
He's just like, he's had enough of Barovia, he's had enough of this, and like he's had enough of the
crazy shitstorm.
The unwarranted things from Tubbs, at least in his eyes or whatever. Yeah. And he sees this opportunity to just be like, hey Tubbs, you know how you're in love with Karen? Well, she's dead.
In fairness, it is entirely Tubbs' fault because he went through the wall to let Tammy in.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did cause that entire situation.
Tubbs caused a lot of situations. And this was just the latest one.
Yep.
It's a little bit of karma.
Yeah, I don't want listeners to get the wrong idea. I love Matt. We get, you know, I think we
we adore Matt.
I'm 100% talking in character of like Ozmand was like not having him anymore at that point. Because I'd like think about, I realised that some of my comments then could have been taken out of context.
No, it's fine.
Cut this bit out. Or don't. Last episode.
Well, I'm leaving it all in. You know, last episode.
Yeah.
I say this. I'll edit some things in.
Yes, you will.
But yes, originally the plan for this episode was going to be this was the end of the previous episode, and it was going to be that you came up the stairs and you found a table with like doilies under everything, and you hear a roar, and then it was going to stop.
Yeah.
Which I thought was going to be a good end of episode 1, but because you took so long and Sergei's too.
Yeah, it really was like a bottle episode in the tomb.
Yeah.
This was the escape episode, so that was the end of that episode. Anyone got anything else you want to add to the end of episode 16?
I think we got quite creative in dealing with the fact that Belry wasn't there for that recording.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh no, Karen's been knocked out.
We don't have our heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Was it not the week after Karen wasn't there? Or for that one?
No, Karen wasn't there for that one. But then
Tubbs wasn't there the week after.
Matt wasn't there for the one after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that was right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
But yeah, the creative style of Karen and everything was, that and Stella.
She had a very consistent scream.
You say what's wrong with her? She's had her mother and brother set on fire. She didn't know her father was dead. Her uncle is now this crazed monster that you're all going to kill, and everything's just got too much for
him at that point.
And she's been a cat for the last year.
I don't know if we were on our way to kill him at that point. We were just moving forward on just general momentum. I don't think in Ozmand's head.
Oh shit, we need to get away from Tammy, rather.
Yeah, well, I feel like, at least in Ozmand's head, like, nobody had given me, like, a solid reason to go kill Strahd. We just were going to see him.
Well,
yeah, we were kind of just moving towards him.
I think the only person that was determined to go and kill Strahd, irrelevant of the story, was Rosie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, we're talking with him upstairs, and she's just like, why aren't we killing him already?
She did get rather bloodthirsty.
Yeah, she did. I think as well that with Stella, an awful lot of the people Meg was trying to comfort her, but we kept forgetting that she was there as well. Like every time we were talking and everything, and we mentioned like someone who was dead, it was Karen who would mention they were dead, and then all you'd hear is
It's like, you know, all you see every literally every half an hour was from Tubbs is, wait a minute, oh, by the way, Stella, your mother's dead.
That was a pretty solid Tubbs voice.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Just in short bursts.
I'm not gonna lie, the fact is that you are not belong here.
That was slipping into David Attenborough there.
And it is here that we can see the rare Tubbs Lebowski is floundering and sight of the dumbwaiter as it rises up, tears streaming from his elegant, if not long eyelashes as he cries for the loss of his love, who he had loved for many years, even though he'd only met her for several weeks.
Half of us made for life. Given the loss of his partner, this one is distraught.
Turns out his partner was not dead, and she awakes him and greets him with a friendly punch to the nose.
That will take him out of the running for at least one episode.
So...
That was brilliant. You need to leave that in.
Leave that in, or we're going to record it specially.
Oh, God. I think I loved about episode 17 starting was Tubbs was meant to send me what happened to him, but he didn't send me it before the recording. So there's literally just, I think it's the Swedish robot saying, hello, Tubbs was meant to send me something, he didn't. Here's just some reactions you could have heard, and then just the reactions you recorded. Oh,
A little peek behind the curtain there for...
episode
there's a giant
17.
spider.
Oh, what?
There's a giant spider.
Yay! Can we call him Piddlewick?
It's a frickin'. He's frickin' moving like speed.
I'm Piddlewick
Yes.
3!
He's alive.
Ugh.
Living things do.
Yeah, he's
Not
Piddlewick.
that
Piddlewick 3, surely.
That spider's called Piddlewick 3.
That voice grated on me.
Even my buddy.
3!
Piddlewick 2 is so creepy.
Oh, in the book, yeah,
The
Piddlewick 2 is
original
fucking
is
dark, but I love it.
Horrendous.
Well, what's he like in the book, Dragon? Tell us about the main book.
In the book, Piddlewick was a small person originally who was like the jester for possibly Lady Watcher. I'm not
No, I
entirely
think it was
sure.
Strahd.
No. Strahd enjoyed having him around, or everyone enjoyed having him around.
It was
So they made a
mechanical copy.
Yeah, so they made this mechanical copy, which is what you met, is Piddlewick 2. But the mechanical copy didn't manage to quite get the humour right.
Yeah.
And in a fit of rage and jealousy, he flung the original Piddlewick down the stairs and murdered him.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's pretty messed up.
that is messed up.
Although in our version, he did have that super solid tiefling joke.
That was, yeah. The whole point of Piddlewick 2 was, you know Blade Runner?
Yes.
You know J.R. Sebastian's house?
Oh.
You know when he walks in, he's got the two toys that are, like, mechanically walking around?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Say, good evening, JR. And it's
Yeah.
the Colonel, and I think it's a bear. Piddlewick 2, in my mind, was based on the Colonel.
Right. Okay.
So he would, like almost frog march in and be like, hi, I'm Piddlewick 2. And he has maybe like 20 known jokes about situations. So someone would go like, Tiefling. Tiefling? A flying teapot. A tiefling. And you'd be like, thanks for that.
Yes.
But
And that's why
because-
he created, instead of being as amusing as the original.
So,
But yeah, Ozmand just really liked him to the point where, like, realised that it was Osmand's fault and going, can you get me a sandwich? That he then went and let Tammy up
Yeah, it's
from the
because you
downstairs.
see him going, the dumbwaiter is broken, I'll be back. And none of you go, wait, that means he's going to the kitchen. Fuck, we need to stop him. He just walks out,
Yeah.
comes back again.
Everyone lets him walk out.
Yeah, but like, that aside, you know, he was, you know, he was friendly to me.
That and
A lot of
bringing
people
wax
were
fruit
friendly
for you
to
all,
me.
bringing wax fruit for all of you, and then the I've fallen and can't get up, please assist.
It was just
I've
super
fallen,
endearing,
okay.
you know.
Oh dear, I've fallen and can't get up, please assist. I've fallen and can't get up, please
You
assist.
need one of those life alert bracelets.
Self-righting mechanism.
Oh god. So then Tammy reappears, Mortikainen appears with Rosie and Esmeralda, and Mortikainen turns Tammy into the giant swan, which all of you seem to immediately have a problem with.
I can't
Swans are
believe
scary,
that we all.
man.
I can't believe that we forgot that swans could fly.
That was
I
super dumb.
cannot believe that we forgot that swans could fly.
A bird could fly, yeah.
I don't know why
I think-
he couldn't have turned it into a penguin, you know.
She's like an indomitable killing machine. I had this idea that maybe the weight would kind of like stop her from flying.
The reason she became a swan was, well, one, it just wanted something relatively harmful but still not likely to be taken as seriously, and two, there was the whole ugly duckling story.
Yeah. As their
Makes sense.
stunned silence.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, makes sense.
Yeah, that was the general point with Tyra becoming a swan. Who was it? Was that someone tries to put her in the cupboard?
I think we did try to put her in the cupboard, but she like broke out.
Was that in this one or was that in the previous?
That was in this
I
one.
think that might have been the previous.
No, no, it's the when she was a swan with this one. So I think you tried to put her in the cupboard this one.
I can't remember.
Did we not try and herd her into the cupboard so she wouldn't get out and then?
I think you did. It didn't really work very well.
No.
Gertrude disappears with Mordenkainen, and the rest of you
Probably
go
best.
upstairs to the top of the tower, where you find Strahd and his several different, I would say concubines, but after Revelation in the episode after, it just seems to be semi-naked elves.
Yeah, it just seemed to be they were there for the. In my head, like they were there by choice as like a kind of like, oh, he's the Lord of the Land, maybe we can get some favor. But like, he was super invested in Irina
Yeah.
and like, but in like as we came to it in like a really creepy kind of like, okay, that's your brother's wife sort of way.
Yeah. So yes, basically you turn up at the top of this tower, and there's these semi-naked elves and Strahd yelling like he lost her, he can't find her anymore, and he just goes nuts at this, what he deems as horror that's trying to sort of comfort him because he doesn't want anyone that isn't Irina. And then Piddlewick introduces you loudly.
Oh God. Oh.
Hi, I'm Piddlewick too.
This
thing
is Greg.
The thing I tried to do was, however you said your names to him, I was trying to have him remember it. I don't know if
Yeah.
you picked that up at the time,
Yeah.
I did.
because
Yeah,
it was
I did.
like, hi, this is Ozmand and Meg, and I can't remember what he calls. Oh, it's because Rosie introduced you as CSI Barovia, but
Yeah.
he thought Rosie's name was CSI Barovia, so he keeps referring to Rosie all the way through as CSI Barovia.
CCI Barovia.
This is CSI Barovia. Because that's what he does. He's basically it's just this.
Yeah.
He's standard mechanical. He's got basic things he can do.
I
Then,
can't really remember what we actually said. Like the
Strahd.
first part. Yeah. What?
Strahd
part?
kills Piddlewick because he's just sick of him, so he just smashes them off the floor. And then all of you are like, right, we're going to leave then.
Yeah.
And Mordenkainen, I think after Strahd says he's going to kill you all, Mordenkainen reappears, and then they start having a fight.
Yeah. They
As the
start
rest
having
of you kind of go, we don't know what to do, and then the swan reappears, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And then there's the nonsense with Karen jumping on the back of the naked elf.
Yeah. That was hilarious. She's gonna ride. Yeah, did she not jump on the back of like 2 different elves at
It
one
was
point?
one, and then he gets blinded, I think.
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, it's because
Yeah.
she's trying to swing a knife around, and she ends up cutting his head.
Yeah. She ends up cutting his face instead.
Yes.
And she was trying to stab Strahd, who was flying above.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, in the book, you are meant to kill Strahd, but I honestly felt that, as I said before, I felt that you were kind of very much the everyday heroes rather than great grand heroes.
Yeah.
It felt better in a way to have you fighting this swan. While this great battle is going on around you.
Yeah, we just happened to be there. We weren't there as like bastions of like, you know, we're good, you know, do-gooders. We're the heroes of the hour. We were just like, oh,
Yeah.
well, those guys have been tooling around the
We're just some
countryside making
we're
problems.
We're convicts that escaped,
Yeah.
trying to keep a low profile and not doing a very good job at it. Yeah, but I think we all forgot about the necklace that sparkled. That entire episode, we
Yeah.
forgot all about
I don't know
it.
how.
I must have.
I was sitting screaming.
I think we forgot that it was in it was in Karen's inventory.
Yeah, that does make
And-
sense.
We just completely forgot all about it, and it wasn't until we'd finished that episode, and then I was listening back the next day to the previous episode that I realised we still had it. And I was like, They could have used it for killing.
You
But
could
then
have
we
done.
used. I know.
But yes, you forgetting swans could fly, you all nearly falling down the waterfall, Karen almost suiciding down the waterfall,
Yeah.
thinking that she's going to land on this elf and that's going to be enough cushion of her fall.
I got set on fire again.
Yeah,
I'm
you get set on
positive.
fire. What else happened? Stella gets killed.
No.
I murdered her by accident.
Yeah, Meg accidentally kills Stella.
After trying to save her.
Accident.
After trying to save her, I tried to convince her to leave Strahd. She wouldn't. And then she got in the way of my daggers and they buried themselves into her chest.
Mhm.
That's what happened.
So,
I
Yeah.
tried.
That definitely makes you totally innocent.
I tried. It was an accident.
Poor Stella.
so Stella's dead. Stella's dead, then Archie gets exploded.
Oh, I forgot about that until like the next episode when we started the next episode. I forgot all about Archie.
Archie got completely exploded after having her arm broken by the swan.
Matt came back and was like, so long as nothing happened to Archie.
Was it not our thumb that
Yeah,
got
so her
broken?
thumb got broken. Yeah, that
Thumb
was it.
got broken.
Her thumb got snapped. So Archie gets exploded. Stella gets killed. Archie gets exploded. Then Tammy gets killed by Strahd.
Mhm.
Because Tammy just goes fucking nuts and starts trying to attack everything.
Well, have you seen a swan? They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
is what swans do.
Yeah, so Strahd ripped the head off Tammy, which finally killed Tammy. And then Morkainen basically blows Strahd's arm off, and Strahd runs away, and Esmeralda reappears carrying the body of Tubbs, which we left under a table downstairs.
He was safe down there.
Yeah.
And
Safer than Stella.
She's dead now.
It's true.
Doesn't
If
matter.
he was around, maybe Meg would have stabbed him as well.
um,
Would have saved him from Karen.
so then that the episode ends, and does anyone have anything else you want to add about that episode?
I'm just thinking. I think we covered it all fairly well. Just my enduring kind of memory of that first fight was just the sort of like suddenly thinking like, okay, God, okay, here we go. We're gonna fight Strahd, and then he rises into the air and fights the other guy, and we're okay.
And then suddenly
I guess we're fighting a swan. You know, just the sort of like. It was like the thinking you're the headline act when really you're the opening band. kind of.
Yeah.
It reminds me very much of the start of Hot Fuzz, where he's like, right, it's a burglary, it's a problem, what is it? I'll find a swan that's loose. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways, that's like that.
Yeah. So then we get on to effectively the final full episode, which is episode 18, which starts with the super happy fun slide.
I was suspicious, if I'm honest, to start with, about the holes.
The
You
super
can't
happy,
have a vampire lair without a super happy fun slide.
super happy fun slide is actually in the book.
That's
Are you kidding? I was just
No.
making a Simpsons
No.
reference.
Seriously, it's in the book.
That's amazing.
Strahd does have a super happy fun slide in the book. He's got a long slide next to his lair at the end. Yeah,
Just imagine like
Seriously,
full
it
on,
does.
like not like our version of Strahd, but like the full on, you know, kind of gothed up sort of, you know, the guy who appears several times in the campaign and fucks the party up several times, just going back to his lair and just going wee.
It's probably how he cheers himself up after the bouts of depression between
can't find out. Read out my days, people.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
go slide.
Exactly. I need to go and have a slide for the 30 seconds.
He puts in his earbuds and listens to The Cure while he goes down the slide. Just got to recharge, you know, a bit of self-care.
Nikolai, where in the book is the slide?
It's actually, I have the Curse of Strahd book next door somewhere. It's definitely there. It's on describing Strahd's lair, the Strahd's chamber, I think.
Okay, because I'm currently looking at the map.
Give me a
It's
sec.
probably not labelled
Capital?
Super Fun Happy Slide.
No, the thing is, I'm looking at, because they give you the map of Barovia, but they also give you like a broken down, like floor by floor of
Yeah.
Castle Ravenloft, and I'm just not seeing anything that looks like a slide. But
Well, I've just googled Strahd slide and there is nothing.
there's the Court of the Count.
I don't think there's a slide. to be
I think there is.
I could run upstairs and get my book as well, but
It's fine, I'll check mine. I was just hoping that it might be, if there is one that's on the map.
Look, super fun happy slide is fun.
Yeah, why does he have anything that's fun?
You know, he can't be all grim and dark all the time.
He's a maniac. He has to have some. You can't explain all their traits.
Yeah.
There. Oh my goodness, this is why I didn't want to go through the book. There's like 20 pages of Castle Ravenloft.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's an elevator trap.
Page
5. Page 85. Apparently.
K82.
K82. Yes, there is a slide. Okay, so there's a trap door in a tunnel. And if you fall through the trapdoor, you fall into a chute of polished black marble and slide into the darkness.
Okay.
You
Good.
then land through a one-way secret door into a flooded cell. Characters who slide all the way to the bottom are deposited in the cell but take no damage.
So
The
super happy fun
slide-
slide.
The slide contains no handholds and is too slippery to ascend without the aid of magic. So you were all fucked. Because Nikoli doesn't tend to do stories with magic comes in and saves the day.
Yeah.
No.
That's too easy.
No. But yes, there was a super happy fun slide in Curse of Strahd.
There was a slide trap.
Still a slide.
Still a slide.
Strahd would have a slide to his bedroom, come on. So yes, you descend down the super happy fun slide. There are the 2 rooms at the bottom, which is one on either side. This was Radin's room and a small laboratory. And Radin's room has the detailed diary telling about what happened to Strahd, effectively.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
campaign.
And then we had the mirror with him in it as well.
That's the next room. Yeah.
Oh.
The diary basically just talks about Strahd coming to the land, him basically watching his master go from this outgoing, relatively chatty guy to this withdrawn, obsessive prick, basically. That goes
He's
from
gone from being a confident warlord to just being a twisted insular sadist.
Yeah. I mean, overall, my writing of a lot of what Strahd did, I based around Macbeth. Because I felt that suited his character the best. You know, it starts off with this very well-known, famous lord, effectively, you see him on the battlefield drenched in blood from head to toe, covered in gore, a well-known, like crazy, well-loved, well-respected general, and through everything that goes on, he is manipulated into killing, because he kills his brother, which again I've mentioned in sort of subtle ways, and then you just see the effect it's had on him.
Yeah.
And that was much more closer to what I felt the Strahd style and the Strahd character was like, because I'm annoyingly quite a big fan of Shakespeare. I thought the Macbeth's character suited Strahd very, very well. So yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I would agree.
The diary tells about how Strahd was this general, as I said. He got power and he seemed to be a bit more distant, and then he met Irina, or Tatiana, and he's like, oh, I really like her. And then Sergei suddenly gets ill and dies. And I wasn't sure off screen whether it's Strahd has poisoned Sergei, or whether Strahd has done something like spoken to the Lich again and caused Sergei to get ill, or whether it's the Lich's doing, or whether there's something more at foot, or it was just Strahd. I'm leaving that completely up to interpretation.
Well, there's an awful lot of possible causes.
Yes.
So.
And
Either way, whether he was involved or not, Strahd, that was kind of what Strahd wanted.
Yeah, it was all going towards his greater plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I said, my version of Strahd started off this, noble hero and became this obsessive, like poetry writing nerd kind of thing, for want of a
Yeah,
better term.
I very much got that kind of vibe of like sort of like a kind of shut-in sort of
Yeah,
the self-described, like the weirdos on incels on Reddit kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's the fact that the diary entries include things like Sergei's deathly ill, Strahd's too busy writing poetry and wanting to spend time with his wife.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wrote, which I felt was a good round off to all the story, was the fact that Sergei and Tatiana are the reason Kresk is called Kresk.
Oh yeah, wasn't that was her surname or something?
It was her maiden name.
Yeah.
It was Kreskovich.
Yeah.
When I think that she had a different name in the book, but I decided that her maiden name should be Kreskovich, and that's where the city that these people have just started setting up and creating,
Yeah.
they should call after her as a sort of mark of respect kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite a nice story hint as to why a place is called the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it tied it into the world a bit more. Not that it wasn't before, but you know what I mean.
Like Barovia was named after Strahd's mother, I think it was, or his father, and
No.
Ravenloft, the castle, was named after the other one.
Barovia is named after his father.
And Ravenloft is named after his mother.
Yes. Queen Ravenia.
Yeah. So I was like, well, if they're doing that, then something like that would come off quite well. And I thought something like Kreskovich and being shortened to Kresk as a city and town name would go quite well.
Yeah.
Then you had things like Strahd being Strahd, and like, oh, he's ill. Well, I'll just spend time with you then. And then as Tatiana begins to try and want further and further away from him, he's determined now Sergei's gone that he wants to be this, and you know, as a second would do, say, you're making a fool of yourself, and him going, I know what I'm doing, go away.
Yeah.
That's the way that his character kind of went. And also the things like Radin talking about, he made and designed Sergei's tomb full of white marble and all these statues and all this stuff looks really good, and Strahd just goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Just doesn't care. Too busy obsessed with a wife, doesn't care about his brother. Which just shows how far he's changed since the start.
Yeah.
And then the next bit is that Radin was trying to comfort Tatiana while Strahd was spending the whole time talking to Xanthor, the Lich. And Strahd, in a sort of jealous rage, comes out, thinks he's hitting on Tatiana, tries to kill him, chases Tatiana jumps and dies, and that's when Strahd turns round and basically just begs the Lich for that her soul won't leave, and also he'll be immortal enough to be able to wait for her to come back.
Yeah.
Which I felt was a far more character-centric version of how Strahd would get his powers, rather than I'm going to go to this tower and, oh yeah, what do I need to do? Kill my brother? Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I think that worked, like you say, the whole kind of like jealousy sort of thing, and his whole attitude being just this completely toxic sort of thing, and then that driving just how the whole kind of saga of the family unfolded sort of thing was, which got everybody into the mess.
Yeah, he was consumed with his obsession, and it just
Yeah.
went over the edge.
Yeah.
He was bad enough alive, but
As an
once he
undead.
died, then there's just nothing left, really, other than power and control.
So basically this is where that side of the story ends. It tells about how Strahd, it's also something that is never mentioned in the book, it also makes Strahd feel like he was once weak, but now he's not.
Yeah.
Like he was willing to, you know, properly bow knee to this Lich before, and that's why he's this overarching, all-powerful vampire now. Whereas
It kind
before-
of hints at that. There is elements of that in the book, that he was, yes, he was a warlord, etc., but he could, you know, admit to having like emotions, making a mistake or something. And just as he became more jealous and as he got more power in order to get the object of his jealousy, he just started to
Unravel.
consumed. Yeah, just completely and utterly consumed by it. Like, he genuinely believes that Tatiana's soul belongs to him.
Yeah.
It's just temporarily escaped.
The next room for this plays into that, which is the laboratory, which, as I said, was why the abbot was so important.
Yeah.
And this is something I think I just put this in. I don't think there was actually a laboratory there originally, but I felt that the abbot had so much more potential than the book gave it. And I felt that giving there being a purpose, that the abbot has done all this research and has found this way of doing it and has found this answer that Strahd would really want, I felt gave the abbot this huge storyline where he felt relevant and then was discarded as soon as he wasn't worth anything, while also tying in why the research he did was important to Strahd and what Strahd could use it to do. And it also ties in why Gertruda's important.
Yeah.
It made a lot more sense.
Yeah, because, well, in the book it's Strahd does this to the abbot just so
cause.
he knows that he's turned an angelic creature evil.
Yeah,
because we discussed the abbot and that in another episode, didn't we?
I mean, this is, as I said before, one of my biggest problems with a lot of things are I don't like characters that do things just cause.
Yeah.
I get that just cause can be some people are like that. Some people say, why did you do that just cause? Like, usually that's an alignment thing. Usually, why did you, stab that villager just cause? Why did you free that man just cause? Whereas when it's something as impactful as the story, as why did you make an abbot create this abomination? So he still thinks he's doing good, but he's actually doing horrible, horrible things, but he thinks he's still doing good. Why did you do it? Just cause.
Yeah.
It feels so flat. It feels so, yes, maybe it's just cause. Maybe he's just a dick. Maybe he's just this pathetic cunt. But still, give him a reason for doing it. Give him a thought in his head as to, don't just say, even if he did, I had a bet with the butler for $1. Just, that's something. That's a reason why he'd do it. It just felt lacking in reason. It just felt like he's sitting a day making a list of how can I be evil today? Well, I'm gonna piss in someone's soup.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Oh, just because I'm an evil man, like the Grinch. It's like, I'm just gonna be the Grinch. I'm gonna be Mr. Evil.
Well, at the same time, Strahd had been around for a very long time at that point.
Yeah.
And he would run out of things to do.
Yeah, but
it's not like he's the sort of character that can just sit back and chill and not do anything for a while.
Well, that's again why I was thinking of getting the abbot involved and making the abbot discover an answer for the thing that's causing him to have to wait, which is Irina's soul coming back.
Yeah.
Whereas otherwise he's just like, she's dead again, well, I guess maybe next time I'll, shut the bars and won't let her run away. It just feels very, Strahd to me is a character that would learn, even if he doesn't want to adapt, he would still learn. And it feels like what he's done hasn't learned from the previous experiences.
I think it's partly that after becoming a vampire, he's not capable of learning. That he's kind of stuck.
He's reached his limit. He's stuck. He's frozen.
He can't learn and adapt and grow.
Yeah.
Because he can't admit fault, he can't admit that he did something badly, so he can't learn from it.
I think that ties into his attitude with the whole Irina thing as well, because he's so obsessed with that admitting fault with that would mean that all of his previous actions were wrong. So that's transferred then onto how he just interacts with the world from this point. Can't admit fault with one thing because then you have to call into question every other thing.
Yeah.
But that was my reason for all of that stuff. So the next room is the mirror room, which is Radin himself explaining all this stuff to all of you and explaining how to kill Strahd. I hoped one of you would have taken in, but apparently not.
Well, we did. What it was, we tried the amulet.
Yeah, we had an
didn't do it
idea.
in one go, so we immediately were like, oh, well, that was rubbish then, wasn't it? Just stab him.
Yeah.
Because we did try to put the amulet in the coffin, open, so that it would fry him inside the coffin, but we ended up flipping over the coffin by accident.
Setting you all on fire, yeah.
And then setting ourselves on fire. So
Yeah. It went well, is what we're saying.
I did enjoy the fact the mirror telling you things like, all the things that had happened, stabbing Irina and stuff like that, and just having you banging your head off the floor.
Yeah. Well, can't win them all when people are forcing you to do stuff.
Yeah. The problem is that I think having in the book, I think Radin is also Radin's also the mirror in the book, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem was, why is this guy in the mirror? And my only way I could think to put him in the mirror was to have him like he's been stabbed and he's nearly dead when Strahd's talking to the Lich. And he's like, I can't do without him, I need him, he's my advisor. So the Lich just sort of goes, alright, game, boop, puts him in the mirror. That kind of answer, effectively, rather than just this, oh, he's in the mirror because, you know, Strahd's got the power to put people into objects, and you're like,
It's another loose end.
It's another loose end. There's a few loose ends I've tried to tie off as many as possible throughout the tale. I've tried to tie off as many loose ends as possible, but we'll talk about that in the conclusion after we do the fight. So the fight with Strahd, setting yourself on fire.
All in all, I think we did well.
We got there eventually.
He felt
did.
like a
Killed
big
him
boss, at least.
eventually.
That's what mattered.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah,
didn't
he
feel like
was
a big
hard.
boss, then it wouldn't be something. But he felt like a big boss, and at least he was trying.
It did come down to one roll though, where one of them was, I can't remember if it was you, Amy, or whether it was Lexa rolling to put the amulet on him. No, that was it. We did put it on him.
Yeah.
And that'd be a mistake.
You put it on him, and then you cast it, and it just blinded all of you because it was facing away from him. So he was
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That was the mistake. If we'd have failed at that, it would have been over a lot quicker.
Yeah. We'd have all been dead.
It was a bad mistake, and we successfully made the mistake.
Did Karen not like have his arm and like used his own arm to wave at him?
Yes. Give me back my arm, and she's like, no, it's my arm.
This is my arm. You can't have it. That was probably one of the best bits ever in her. It was just like that bit from It, where he's just like waving the arm at him, going, "Hi,
Hi, lost something." Yeah. I think the end fight was good. It kind of summed up everything, though. Running back to speak to the mirror to ask, right, how do we kill him? It was just like,
It was Tubbs. Tubbs didn't understand simple instruction.
Well, none of
And
you
it was
did,
like,
'cause none of you could
I know, none of us did. We all were trying and stabbing.
But yes, that was that. And Strahd's like getting weaker and weaker, and he can just barely fend you off, and still you're like, how do we kill him?
Take off his head!
Yeah. So, yes. So you kill him, you come back up, and then you have your epilogues where you all go your separate ways. Is there anything else you want to talk about episode 18, first of all, before we do a final conclusion?
I mean, I think I like the idea of like where the Lich is like, so who's doing what? And we very quickly, me, Meg, and Rosie all turned around and were like, nope, we're gone. We're super gone
we're out.
really quickly.
We're out.
And like the genuine surprise from Matt as Tubbs being like, what do you guys mean? Why aren't you staying? Kind of thing. When it had been clear for the last however many episodes that our goal was to get out of Barovia.
Yep.
At like, you know, almost any cost kind of thing. And and like he launched, did he launch into a speech or something, but we were out of the door already?
Yes, he was trying to say, but we can roll as a council, guys. And you're just like, no.
Nope.
We're already gone.
Nope, we're out of here.
Yeah.
The thing that broke Camel's back was that Tubbs and Karen were about to make deals with the Lich, and the rest of us were just like, nope.
Yeah.
We've seen what's happened.
I could just see that if you had stayed, it was, I want all this, and I want to pay with Tubbs and Meghren Osmond's soul.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the end, it was just Tubbs' soul.
Yeah, just Tubbs' soul. Did you like the fact that the mirror got very annoyed that Strahd just did poetry and didn't learn an instrument joke?
I did like that.
I told my lord to learn an instrument. Women love instruments. That's what Sergei did. Look at him. Women all over him, but no.
I loved how he was a patron of the Screws box. I loved that. That made me so happy.
I'm Strahd. I write poetry and cry at mirrors.
Just the idea of like a mirror having to put up with all the Strahd's. Like,
not even able to like tap him on the shoulder, going there.
I genuinely love writing the mirror stuff because it's literally things like, I told my lord, just fuck the elf. The elf wants you to fuck her. No, I'm to save myself, to keep myself pure. You're watching them fuck and wanking. Just fuck them. They'll let you fuck them. No, I have to save myself for Irina.
Just an exasperated magic mirror is great.
It's just how exasperated he was by the time he got to me, just like, So, yeah.
I do like my conspiracy theory about Tyler that I put on Twitter on that one time.
Well, oh yeah, what was that?
That there was no Tyler. Karen was
It's
there.
a delusion.
No,
Yeah.
Karen was there to find a husband or just a partner to make.
Oh, shit.
She's
Make
there to
Tyler.
find her. Yeah, she's there looking for her son, and by that, but eventually, she's there looking for someone to make her son with,
It could be possible.
and apparently not Tubbs.
Well, definitely not Tubbs. I mean, no one wants to sleep with a married woman. Oh god. So I think that's episode 18 covered. So now we're just getting to the conclusion. Overall, what were your thoughts? Anything else you want to add as final thoughts?
It was a lot of fun. I think you did a really great job throughout the whole thing of just keep the atmosphere right for the setting and everything. And yeah, I'm not good at final thoughts, but yeah.
I loved the twists and turns so much, but I've played I've played games with you for ages, and you still get me. Still have this magic. Once I think I know what's going on, you twist it so easily.
Yep.
And I'm just like
That's
Then
the
I'm
point of
left
good
in the
storytelling. You shouldn't.
Yes, it is.
Everything should be really obvious, but also really obvious when you listen to it back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can hear the little bits going all the way along.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the added bonus of it.
You're very good at the foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could hear all the bits with Fergus, for example.
Yeah.
So I could hear it all coming, and it was just that sort of like, guys, why aren't you listening to this?
Yeah, but you had a vague idea of what was the deal with Fergus.
Yes, I
Well,
did.
we can have a final thoughts on Dragon. Considering you have read the original book, what were your thoughts on the things I changed?
I like that they all make a coherent whole. They make sense together. Because you did go back and you did make sure to tie up all the loose ends.
As many as I can find, yes.
Do you think that there are lots of... The thing is that even just looking back through the chapter for Castle Ravenloft, there's enough in that castle to make a campaign.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so many bits of material and ideas, but I really like the story that you've created from them. And as a aside, Rahadin is not in a mirror. He is alive and functional.
Jammy bugger.
Is he?
Yes, yes, he is.
I thought
Yeah,
he
we
was
took
the
them
magic
around,
man.
didn't we?
Nope. If you arrive in the black carriage, so one of the ways that you can end up meeting Strahd is that he sends a black carriage for you, and you get picked up and taken to the castle
Yeah, that's
early.
randomly throughout the entire adventure.
Yeah. At some point. And as you go there, you hear sad and majestic organ tones. But there is an elf with brown skin and long black hair descends the wide staircase, quiet as a cat. He wears a grey cloak over black studded leather armour and has a polished scimitar hanging from his belt. My master is expecting you.
So that's Radin.
Yes.
Okay. There's things like I didn't include, like Dusk Elves, for example, I just felt weren't extra complicated. Same with the Were Ravens. The Dusk Elves, yes, they would have been nice to put in at some point, but they felt needless extras.
Well, if you had kept all of the vampire spawn brides in the crypt, then they would have made sense, because one of them is the brother of one of the Dusk Elves that you can meet in Argynvost Hall, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are loads of other options that you could choose to include.
Yeah.
But all the ones you did made a really nice, coherent story.
I mean, I think that one of the things I like looking at things and saying, right, well, that goes to there, goes to there, goes to there, and then once it's there, does it do anything? No. Right, okay, well, I need to end it there then, rather than there to there to there to there, and then I can just let that disappear off and maybe I'll come back to it later. I like having conclusive endings to, like, threads when I tie them together all the way along. Like, for example, when the book talks about Irina, for example, and Irina she's with you, and then she disappears into the lake, and then she goes to Sergei's side when she's in the lake, but until you read that paragraph, you don't know what happens to Irina, because Irina just starts following you, and that's it. There's nothing else that mentions her. I think there's one other thing that if Irina's with you, she does something. But apart from that, she's just seen as this baggage.
In fairness, as you know, you never know what the group you're running it with is going to do. So they can't railroad you too much.
Yeah.
Because at some point it's just not going to work at all.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, my biggest criticism of the Curse of thing is it could really do with just a simple flowchart.
I think in some of the later ones they have put flowcharts in.
Even if it just said that...
Pretty sure there's one in Storm King's Thunder.
I mean, even if it just goes X into Y into Z, and then it has bits coming off as you go down that say you can do these at this part and such. I know Curse of Strahd got so much that they want you to sandbox and go here to there to back again, here to there to back again, and it just...
Yeah, it's their idea there is like you're not running, like even though you're technically running Curse of Strahd, they want people to run a Barovia campaign in which the Curse of Strahd story, quote unquote, is happening.
Yeah. I think, as I said, my narrative for writing was much more that I should block everything that's relevant to that thing together, get all the story that needs to get done there out, and then move you on.
Yeah.
Rather than keep bouncing you between town to town to town to town to back again.
Yeah, like going back and forth, and...
Because it felt kind of like a hub. When you go to most hubs, when you're doing questing games or RPGs or something like that, you tend to do I'll do all the quests here, and then I'll move on.
Yeah, then you move on.
Yeah.
I'll do one, then go over there, then come back again, do another one. I mean, don't get me wrong, everywhere that you needed to come back to, you did. Like, Watcher House, for example, I could have put earlier on, but it made sense that later on, once you've got a bit more of a notoriety about yourself, you get hauled in front of basically the Council of Strahd. It made much more sense to do that at a later date, and such, and so on, really. The final thing I will ask is, what are your thoughts on pacing? And I ask this because I was looking at a YouTube video for Out of the Abyss, which is the next one we are doing, and it will not be till the end of the year, but it was a video about someone talking about their experiences in Curse of Strahd, and they mentioned how they had done Death House, but it had taken 4.5 hours. And when I looked at the comments of it, because there was a comment I was reading about something, and the first comment was someone going, "For fuck's sake, you were fucking noob, why did Death House take you 4.5 hours? It should have taken 8. And you're like,
4.5 seems extensive.
And you're like,
4
what? And it's like you
very
need to go
excessive.
through and have all these details and have it waiting for a long time and I'm just like, right, every single episode of Curse of Strahd we've done, pretty much, I think it's maybe been one that was maybe a bit longer, but it's been done maximum 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why it takes people... I mean, I understand, you want the full players to experience everything and interact with, every small dog and cat in the whole land, but I equally just want to know your thoughts on pacing, because I effectively must have rushed through a lot of stuff and just let you, if you make attention, you give it. Blah, blah.
I think narratively the way you did it was good. I think part of the stuff lasting longer is down to the fact that when it came to combat, a lot of the times ours was just you saying like, okay, roll to see if what you described works.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're playing it in like 5th edition, you've got movement, action, bonus action.
Yeah.
So a combat that maybe we breeze through in 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
You might be looking at that's an hour.
Yeah.
But also, I think, unless everyone involved in the group is hugely focused on everything has to be exactly by the rules, and you need to state if you're doing a movement, if you're doing an action, and if you're doing a bonus action.
Yeah.
Every turn, instead of just going, okay, this is what I'm doing with my turn. That's going to drag it out. But if there's anyone in the group who isn't really focused on that, that's going to be boring as hell.
Yeah.
And it is not something that is going to translate well to a podcast.
The other example that I've kind of seen of a Curse of Strahd playthrough is the Dice Camera Action one, which is of course pretty much official because it's Chris Perkins running it and that.
Yeah.
And they did Curse of Strahd in 31 2-hour episodes. But he's pretty much doing, even though he's one of the authors on the book, he's not running it like it's the book, he's running it with his own changes to the group and stuff. And even in that, I don't think they spend 4 hours. It's been I haven't really watched through a lot of it. I watched a couple episodes at the start 2 years ago, whenever they started it, and I think they had some technical problems which put me off. And I came back to it a lot later on when they were doing more of the Storm King's Thunder stuff. But even then, I don't think they spent 4 episodes in Death House.
Yeah.
I mean,
that just seems a bit too much.
I have a lot of time for Chris Perkins stuff because I find his stuff very interesting, but he does kind of get a bit obsessed with detail. He's kind of the Stephen King problem I have, is that I find Stephen King's books great and fascinating, but they can spend 3 pages describing a room to me.
Yeah.
I don't need 3 pages to describe a room to me. I understand that you want the full atmosphere, the full flavour, every little detail, every little breakdown, all this, but I think a concise version of some things would work so much better, especially for a DM reading it. Like, for example, I am reading Out of the Abyss at the moment, and it's literally about 300 pages of text.
Having read a good chunk of Out of the Abyss, my thought on obviously this is off topic for Strahd, but my thought on pacing of that is that first chapter could be done in 1 episode.
Yes.
But the later stuff, that's more of like...
That'll be 2 or 3 episodes. As I said, with Strahd, it's like, there's bits that will... Like, for example, a lot of the quests we did in Strahd were side quests. Like, the Werewolf Den was a side quest. The Priest, the Gravedigger, and the Coffin Maker, that was a side quest. They were fleshed out properly into full episodes in Curse, because they were good story hooks that would have done as a standalone. And if it's done well enough, you can flesh out a whole episode from it, and it's really nicely done and everyone's interested. But there's also been things that just feel like, I get it, I understand it, it's dragging on though.
Yeah.
I think that, like I say, in general, I think pacing wise, it was pretty good. What we've just done. As you say, there's bits in the book that would drag on if you did them as written.
Yes.
There's bits that, like you say, are not fleshed out at all, which is like, well, we spent a whole episode on that, but really there's not a lot to it in the book. So it's, I think we struck a good balance, and especially because, like you say, you're doing it in your custom penance system almost.
We're doing it in a custom homebrew where it's stripped right back, and I just feel that I don't think I could play proper D&D anymore. Like, genuinely, it's not a slight on D&D or anything, but I feel that I've played so many games and I've DM'd so many games now where I've cut all of the fluff, that to put the fluff back in would actually drive me mental.
Yeah.
It's like, one of the biggest quotes I heard when I was watching these videos for the next one was, one of my players complained that I have limited abilities and they have limited uses, and once they're gone I can't use them, and I feel very limited and restrained. And the person, when they asked this to, said, oh, that's just their problem, though there's no use of D&D. And I was like, no, that's the one big problem with D&D, is you need to try and let people do what they want to do. You need to let them go, I want to explore, I want to express what I do. I don't want people just to put a finger on the table and say, I want to do move 3, and then the next turn I want to do move 4. Because that's dead, that's not D&D.
It just seems robotic that way.
That's robotic, that's not storytelling, that's not fleshing.
I'm finding that 5e is much less like that. There's much less of that, okay, you've got a powerful spell you can use once a day, and if it doesn't work, well, tough.
No, that's 4th ed. 4th ed is terrible for that.
Yeah,
I'm
4th ed is that you might as well get a black pen and just score out half your character sheet. And
I'm enjoying running 5e, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have no one to play with.
Oh, you have us.
I have you guys, that's about it.
We'll do a Discord campaign, I'll DM you guys.
Hey! It's been a very, very long time since I've played proper.
Yeah, you played 4th ed with me.
Yeah.
But as I said, I don't understand why people think that if a player says I feel limited, their immediate response is just to be very dismissive.
That's not
If a player says I feel limited, you should say, well, why do you feel limited? What's limiting you? Is it because you don't have a ranged weapon in your melee all the time? Is it because you don't have something to do, or this or that, or you feel like you're never getting to combat, for instance, killed, or what is it? And answer those questions. Don't just say, oh, well, that's just you're not used to D&D.
I haven't really come across that at all in the games I play. That might just be my DMing style kind of thing.
But as I said, this was literally someone commenting to the person doing the video saying that they felt limited.
Yeah.
And I think if someone said that to me, I would be a lot more like, right, well, why? What's causing it? So I think if that's Amy desperately wanting to go.
I have to go up at 6 tomorrow.
Right,
so.
okay, well, final goodbyes. Where can we find you? Do a proper plug of yourselves. AJ.
For the first time in 18 episodes, yeah. Hey, I am on the internet. Look, I'm on Twitter. My personal account is at AJHeretic666 because apparently I'm a 12-year-old who just got into metal. Also, I have my own,
versus mine.
yeah, I have my own RPG podcast, Pretending with Dice, which everybody here today's been on.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, that's at Pretend with Dice, and we pretend with dice.
So what do you run in Pretend with Dice?
Many things.
Such as?
Well, we've got a kind of.
properly, man.
I'm not good at plugging. That's why I failed my electrician's exam. No, we've got an ongoing D&D story, which we sort of have kind of. The way it works, we run kind of like short story arcs of different systems, then we switch to another system. We've got a kind of ongoing D&D 5th edition campaign, which we sort of will do an arc of that, then we'll play another game for a bit, then we'll go back and do more D&D, then we'll play another game for a bit. We've just wrapped up our Star Wars Saga Edition RPG campaign, that was very loose on the actual rules and that, really. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We've got Shadowrun coming up. When's this going live?
This is going live next week.
Which day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So we got our Shadowrun campaign is starting tomorrow.
Is that the 20...
30th, yeah. Thursday 30th, our Shadowrun short storylines starting, and yeah, we're going back to D&D later on in the year. So,
cool. So
check it out.
Anything unique about your Shadowrun you want to explain now to hook the people into listening?
We kind of did it in a sort of custom setting in like a little random Dorset village, so it's a little different from regular kind of in the middle of a giant cities, sort of Shadowrun thing, which is kind of fun. It's been run by one of our players in his first time GMing anything, and he did a super amazing job. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Dragon, have we got anything to plug? We have our Halloween thing to plug.
We do.
Which I might as well put a plug for now. If you want to be a part of the Penance RPG Does Halloween thing, which is basically something me and one of my friends have written, it's going to be a single one-shot thing that we decided to, we use the hashtag Open the Dungeon, apply to everyone on Twitter who listens to this, who wants to do it, basically. Get in touch with us, tell us what your favourite episode is. The reason for that is we just want to make sure that you've listened to our stuff before, so you know that we're a bit more like storytelling rather than go in, murder everything. But yeah, apply to that. We will try and get everyone that applies on and get them recorded, and we'll release the episodes in October. So if you would like to have me DM a Halloween-based horror story for you, then please apply at Penance RPG on Twitter.
Tell your friends.
Do it.
All of these people have actually ran through the demo, which had a couple of tweaks to it because it was a little thing we could have done. But yeah, all good. Amy, are you doing anything at all? Apart from what's starting next week, which you can't talk about.
Yeah, I can't talk about the thing I'm starting about next week because it's all hush hush.
But that will hopefully go live in October. Yes.
Yes. But you can catch me on Twitter. It's am_Quisitor, because I'm a Dragon Age nut, where I give her about random things in D&D and all things nerdy and work. I don't have anything to plug, I'm afraid.
You can find Matt at MJ. That's Matt, isn't it?
It's
yeah, let me Google him.
Yeah, EMMJ.
At EMJAYEE.
Okay. So you find Matt there. He is doing what he always does, which is creating magical items for Twitter. So please follow him, give him a like. Belry is Belry. Not much I can say there. He's still working, attracting old women. And Lexa is at the Dead Horse, which is the Dead Horse podcast, who I think have just started something new, have they?
They did a Call of Cthulhu one shot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a one shot.
Go follow them because they're great folk as well. They could probably do with your support. So again, thank you very much for listening. We hope you've enjoyed Curse of Penance RPG, and good night.
Bye.
Bye.
bell tolls. The end is nigh. This podcast is an adaptation of Curse of Strahd, a 5th edition D&D adventure. It was adapted from the original story by Nikoli Dragon. The podcast features Nikolai, Amy, Belry, AJ, Lexa, and Matt. All music was written and performed by Boström. Artwork was by John Moore.